Once again, that's the beautiful skyline of the capital city of Kenya. The city of Nairobi with all its glamour. The city in the sun is what it's called. Maybe you haven't seen as much sun as you'd like to do, but I tell you what, nothing takes away the beauty of this beautiful city of ours of Nairobi. And this has been the home of women's football in this region over the past 2 weeks. That's the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. That's the home. That's where we are. And why are we here? Because Vihiga Queens are taking on CBE of Ethiopia, the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia. This is huge as far as this region is concerned. I tell you what, it's been all about this trophy. The last 2 weeks have been all about this trophy. 8 teams battling it out for a chance to take this trophy. And now we are down to the last 2. Who's going to take it? One way to find out, Vihiga Queens or CBE of Ethiopia. We'll find out from 4 p.m. And as it's been for the last few days, I'm here joined by Gladys as well and Ellie. Guys, you must be excited because think about it. It's a final. It's the inaugural one. It's the first one. It's all about history. It's all about being the very, very first team, Gladys, to win.
You know, they usually say nobody forgets the first, and when you win this, it's going to be absolutely massive. And leave alone the trophy. The prize that you get to go home with is the ticket to be able to represent East Africa in the CAF Champions League. And this is going to be huge for either of these two teams. This is no mean feat. They've worked very, very hard to get here. I am so excited. It's cold in the stadium, but the warmth that is filling this place is absolutely amazing.
Ellie, it's a day for history. It's an historic day. And one of these two teams will make history. And just for women's football in this region, just to be able to have watched the kind of football we've seen, this is huge from a women's football's perspective.
I'm absolutely buzzing to be here. I mean, everything is just perfect. The grass is perfect. The football has been perfect in the first game. Then look at that trophy. Absolutely magnificent. The only thing that is missing, the cherry on the cake, is the fans. The fans would have made this look absolutely spectacular. Unfortunately, the show must go on, and it is absolutely huge that we get to have a competition of this magnitude in this part of East Africa. The best of the very best coming up against each other, and now we have the 2 of the very best. And lucky for Kenyans, we have our very own Vihiga Queens. As a Kenyan, I'm absolutely delighted. The ladies have done us proud. They will also do us more proud if they get to get their hands on that particular trophy. That's what we're waiting for.
Gladys, 6 teams have already booked their slots in Egypt. This afternoon we are looking for one, and there'll be only one more to go. How crucial is it for CECAFA to get the best possible team to go on to Egypt later on in the year?
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to say these 2 teams being here just means they are the best from this region. Coming this far, they've faced phenomenal teams. We've seen a 3rd place playoff that has been absolutely cracking. I mean, we've seen 2 teams that met each other at the group stage, and one of them now came out the better of the 2. And in this particular final, it's going to be a statement that we're going to make. Whoever is going to come from this particular region is going to represent the whole of CECAFA. It's going to speak about the volumes. It's going to speak volumes of the kind of quality of football that we have in East and Central Africa. It's going to be absolutely massive. And it doesn't matter if it's CBE or if it's Vihiga who win. It is what they will do when they get there, how they will get there, who will they be representing. They will be representing a CECAFA region, and it's just not going to be about country anymore.
So we've got our 3rd place, Lady Doves, walking away with $10,000. Ellie, of course, after beating Simba Queens 2-1. And then, of course, the big one, Vihiga versus CBE. And these teams have battled all the way just to get here. If you just look at the way these 2 teams have gotten here, it's been a fight, especially for Vihiga. They had to overcome losing a game, and then they just fought back and found their way all the way to now that they're in the final.
You know, you learn from your mistakes, and that's what Vihiga have done. They have learned from their mistakes. The first game, they lost 4-2, defensive mistakes at the back. However, in the subsequent matches, they sort of got into their groove, started learning, started becoming better. And we could see that against Simba Queens, they had learned from facing CBE in the first game. No defensive mistakes, maximum concentration from the first minute till the last minute. And now they have to show us what they have learned so far in the previous games. From the first game they played against CBE to now, it's a repeat. Does lightning strike twice the same place? I don't know. Let's wait and see.
James,
Gladys,
yes.
this team is close to your heart. I mean, by default, comes from a village very close to where you come from. So you would understand your feelings towards it. You must be really excited to see a team that it represents your community. Before we get to Kenya, just represent your community.
Yeah.
Can they do the job today? Can they finish off?
You know, first and foremost, Vihiga are 3 times champions of the Kenya Premier League. That means the caliber that they bring into this game is, number one, they know how to win it when it comes to matters women football in Kenya. And now they're just about to show what they can do in East and Central Africa. And if they manage to do this, then that means they'll go and represent the CECAFA region in Egypt. And that's going to be massive. Talking from my village point of view, I'm telling you, when I stand back at home and just look out the gate, I'll be seeing a few of these players coming in. Probably will meet around the marketplace. But I can assure you, villagers from my place are already looking for the link, and they're wondering what time are we starting this match. It's just 4 p.m., very few minutes. Tension is very high. But if Vihiga have learned anything from the first game, it has to be how to tackle a team that you have already played with. Lady Doves have done that exceptionally well. And if they can do the same, and if they watched their game of CBE versus Lady Doves, I do hope they picked some good lessons.
So that's the results for the team. Like you said, started off on the wrong foot, lost to CBE by 4-2. But then after that, they've really come and put their house together. 11-0 victory, 8-0 victory, and then the semi-final versus the Simba Queens, the Battle of the Queens, and they won that one. Ellie, like Gladys says, you build on it, you build on it, you build on it. But the key standout from those results is that game where they played, the very first one.
Yes.
They have to have gotten lessons out of that.
Yeah.
They lost by 4-2. What lessons should they have gotten from that they must apply today?
Lucky for Vihiga, they've seen what Lady Doves have done in the previous games. They got the blueprint of how to hold CBE in the semi-finals, and now they have also the blueprint of how to play a team that you've played before. So defensively, no mistakes, because that's what cost them the first game. They made a few mistakes here and there, and now they have to rectify. And they did rectify, to be honest. Against Simba, we didn't see those defensive lapses. And now, today, it has to be more than just the tactics for me also.
Ellie, why don't we just look back to that game? Because it was a huge game, opening game for both these two teams, and just the way it and just see sort of what happened there, guys. Of course, here at the Nyayo National Stadium, Gladys, and right from the onset, I think Vihiga were on the back foot.
Now, first and foremost, we have to remember that in that first game, Medina Baza was absolutely phenomenal. She scored a hat-trick, but the fact that Vihiga got 2 at the back of the net shows complacency in that defense, and it shows that they are capable of letting in goals. Now, the difference between the two sides is that one actually converts their chances better. But from that game, we also learned that, number one, Alice Muderi was the new introduction at right back because she did not play that game. So they sealed the first loophole they got from that game. And from there, they've been changing. They changed their tactics, and everything has been working for them. Topista Situma is another player who played in that first game. And since then, she's not gotten a chance because in that game, she was not exactly at her best. But if you look at the goals that were scored, really, Vihiga were putting the high line. They were not being very careful, lapses in concentration. And again, look, it comes from the right wing. And ever since the introduction of Alice Muderi, seen from match day 2, from the second game, there's been an improvement in that defense. So I think Vihiga learned from this game, and they're going to put whatever they've learned into play this afternoon.
Let's look at the team sheet and see how Vihiga line up today. Of course, they were victorious versus Simba. So this is the way they line up. Once again, it's the 4-3-3, tried and tested and trusted. That's the way the lineup looks like. Ellie, anything we should in particular look towards or highlight?
Yes, for me, there are two players. Gentrix Shikangwa, if she turns up, Vihiga turn up. And also, Morina Chieng. Morina Chieng has scored a hat-trick in this competition, and we saw in the previous game that if she's not in the party, Vihiga just don't click. So they need to get the ball to Morina Chieng, the number 10, to do her magic, to create, to give the ball to Terry and to give the ball to Gentrix, because once you get the ball, Terry Gentrix, they can perform magic.
Let's stay with you and focus on that player you are saying who, if she turns up, the whole team turns up. That's Gentrix Shikangwa. She's the undoubted star of the team. She is the main lady of the team. How important is it that she turns up today?
You know, some people might not understand why we're saying Gentrix is the star of the team, but let's put it into context. In a few years back, during the final of the CECAFA Women's Challenge Cup in Tanzania, Kenya versus Tanzania, 0-0 in the first half. Second half, who comes on? Gentrix Shikangwa. What does she do? She scores 2 goals to ensure that Kenya beat TZ in their own turf. She is a big game player. And that's what she did in the previous game, in the semi-final, when against Vihiga Queens. We need a goal. Who turns up? Gentrix. So when Gentrix turns up, Vihiga tick. Vihiga get the job done. So this particular final, I think for Vihiga, Gentrix will be the decider.
Well, that's one player. Gladys has a different player who she's keeping an eye on. Her name is Maureen. She gets the goals for Kenya. She's not necessarily a striker, but she somehow is always in the right place at the right time.
Maureen, first and foremost, I think her age is playing a big role in this particular tournament. She's 29 years of age. Her experience of playing in the league for long is something that is working in her favor. But dead ball situations, this lady is lethal. Look at all the goals she scored. The first 2 in the first game against Simba, scored all from set pieces. And then again, keeper was lapsing, and look at that. She knows where to get herself. She looked at the positioning of the keeper, she looked at the positioning of the defenders, and it didn't matter that there were 6 shots in that goal line. She got it in the net. She's always a dead ball specialist and a very good midfield maestro. She picks up the balls and gives them to the forward 3. And what is going to happen with the forward 3 is that we're going to see them rotating a lot. Engesha can come in, Gentrix can go to the left, Gentrix can go to the right, Wanyonyi can go to the left. It's going to be really tough for the CBE if they've not organized themselves well. And that is not something we saw in the first game, because Wanyonyi actually came in as a sub. So it's going to be very difficult for them. They don't have a different game plan. Unlike the CBE of Ethiopia, this is actually the team that they put in the first game against Vihiga. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to handle Hiwot, because Hiwot Dengiso is coming back into this match. She is the supplier of all those deadly goals we've been seeing from the midfield all the way to the flank or just right behind the defenders. It's going to be absolutely tough. And I think another player who is going to have a tough time is going to be Joanna Biire, because in the midfield, she has been absolutely instrumental. She's been winning those 50-50 balls. And at this particular point, a lot of people are going to a lot of eyes might not be on her, but she has a lot cut out for her.
Well, let's find out what the Vihiga Queens coach had to say ahead of this game. Whether he feels that they have learned the lessons as Gladys thinks they should have.
Wakati tulicheza semi, tulianza maandalizi ya finali. So naweza sema tuko ready kucheza finali leo.
Na pengine ukikumbuka kwamba mlikutana na CBE kwenye group stages na wakakufunga, pengine mabadiliko yapi lazima ufanye ndio muweze kuwashinda leo?
Kawaida ya mpira hauwezi fanya mabadiliko wakati umekosea. Kitu yenye nafaa ufanya ni urekebishe yale makosa yenye ulipata kwa game. So sisi tumejipanga, tumerekebisha makosa yetu na tuko ready.
So there you've had it there from the assistant coach. He says, you know what, we are okay, we will be okay. We think we learned the lessons, and our key thing is we rectify the lessons. The lessons against who? The lessons against the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, who have been the standout team so far this tournament. They've been absolutely unbelievable, Ellie. They have been the team to beat. They score goals for fun, and even when things look tough, they somehow find a way to go through to the next round.
I think I'm proud enough to say that I've watched Barcelona play. I mean, that's how good this team has been. They're just, the way they play, the 4-3-3 has been immaculate from them. I think they're the best team that have really implemented the 4-3-3 formation to perfection. Starting from the goalkeeper, starting out from the back, the center backs, the ball-playing center backs, they know how to pass the ball accurately And for the midfielders, they know how to attack the half spaces. And that's where you want your central midfielders to be playing. And now that we have seen them play against Vihiga before, I'm interested to see what tactic the coach is going to employ, because he has made a few changes in the squad, which is going to be really interesting.
Well, let me tell you one thing, James, about this CBE side of Ethiopia. With every game, they actually did change the players they were playing, and this team is so complete that they can actually afford to take 2-3 players who played their first game and bring in second ones. And this is what I was talking about in the first game. Is your bench as powerful as the players that you have? And with this Commercial Bank of Ethiopia side, it is exactly that. They have 100% for 100%. But sometimes it's not going to work in your favor, and sometimes it is going to work in your favor. Now, one thing they have to do is shut out Baza. If they can shut out Baza, Loza will not get so much of the ball.
Guys, let's look at the way they line up today. Of course, the starting 11 of the CBE of Ethiopia, like they said, they've been unbelievably good. Once again, it's the 4-3-3. Once again, no surprises there, Ellie, in terms of who starts where, who doesn't start where. They've really kept shape. Just a few changes, and you had the coach there say, each game is different, we approach every game differently, we put different players for different situations.
I want to see those different players, how they are going to impact this game. But for me, the player who needs to really turn up in that forward line is Tadesse, because in the previous game, she wasn't really herself, and she didn't really turn up, and she wasn't putting in the crosses where we think she should have been putting in the crosses, because Loza was getting half chances together with Medina. And once you get the ball to Loza and Medina, it's game over.
Gladys, let's look at the to-watch players in this team. Now, it's really, really hard to move away from this duo. They seem to be the ones we pick, I mean, but who do we focus on today? Who do we look at and think this is the person?
Well, one person I'm going to talk about is going to be Hiwait Dengiso. She's the one who's playing right behind Loza and Baza, and she's going to be the supplier of those goals. Another lady I'd like us to talk about is going to be Boizo, Senaet Boizo, number 21. I know a lot of people don't think she did much, but in the first game, she was absolutely lethal, and she came off with an injury in their third game, and that just shows you that they went a little bit low on quality, but not exactly. But Hiwait Dengiso does not have an injury. She is absolutely phenomenal, and those crosses, I'm telling you, she has power, she has precision, and she knows how to pass. Those 1-2s you've been talking about, you see Baza and Loza doing. She is also a master in them. For me, that midfield is going to be absolutely crucial.
Who's your favorite person? I know the girl who scores all the goals.
Definitely Loza, because Loza, when Loza plays, she can play as a creative and she can also finish. And she's also the set piece taker. And for that, sometimes the game is really tough. You know, you can't win the game in open play. So you need other things to help you win the game. And in the set pieces, we saw it in the last game, she's lethal. And if you notice in the previous game, Medina is not absolutely 100% fit.
Yes.
Because she limped off. And in this particular game, you need everybody to be 100% fit. So I'm going for Loza. Loza is the one who has to carry the team up front, and maybe, just maybe, Medina.
What about Medina?
Well, Medina is an absolutely brilliant player. She doesn't have the biggest of bodies, as I always say every time, but her skill is absolutely phenomenal. She's quick on the ball. She's fast on her feet. She knows her decision-making is absolutely wonderful. A little bit of poor decision-making in the last game, but that doesn't take away the quality that she brings into this match. And, you know, I've had the privilege of watching her play in all matches, and this girl is going to be tough to mark. And look at how she always knows how to find space. She knows when to run and when to beat her defender and when to look for the space. And you know, her teammates are always cheering her on. This is a lady who's already going home with 2 balls, surely. She has 2 hat-tricks from 2 matches, 2 different matches. And then you have Loza, a lady who has now 213 goals to her name, because previous to this tournament, she came in with 200 goals. Here, 13 goals, 5 in one match, another 5 in another match. These girls have quality, so if you can lock one out, of course the other will be starved. The question will be...
It's good what you're saying about the goals, because we called them the deadly duo in the semis, because Loza and Medina 21 goals.
Yes.
And then you've got the Kenyans coming right there with 12 goals. So maybe the Kenyans not as lethal as the 2 Ethiopians, but it shows you there should be goals in this game.
But James, however, if you look at the Kenyan side, and I don't know whether we have the other page of goal scorers, you'll actually notice we have Maureen, Gentrix, Violet Onyonyi, who has 4 goals. Now, Vihiga on the opposite side actually have more options in terms of people who can score goals.
The goals are more spread out in the team.
They are more spread out. So for me, I think they are a more dangerous team in terms of who can score. For this ones, you know, if you lock out one, the other might be starved. And we saw the Lady Doves do that perfectly.
Let's find out what the CBE coach had to say ahead of the game. Of course, he knows he's the team to beat. He knows he's the favorite to go on and win the trophy. So what are his thoughts ahead of the game?
ትልቅ ውድድር አሸንፈን ትልቅ መሆን ስለምንፈልግ በደንብ ተዘጋጅተናል። በደንብ መዘጋጀታችን ደግሞ በጣም የምታምሯን ካይሮን የምታምሯን ናይሮቢን እንኳን ወጣ ብለን አላየንም። ለምን ውድድሩን ለማሸነፍ ስለምንፈልግ።
We know it is a very big game. Still, we arrived at Kenya. We didn't visit Kenya because it is a big game. We need to win this game.
You beat Vihiga in the group stages. Does that give you extra confidence going into this game? The fact that you've played them before and beaten them?
ባለፈው ጨዋታ ቪጋ ኩዊንን አሸንፋቸዋልና አሁን በዚህ ጨዋታ ላይ የሚሰጣችሁ ኮንፊደንስ አለ ወይ መተማመን አለ ወይ?
የሚሰጠን ነገር ቢኖርም ግን ያ ሌላ ቀን ነው። ዛሬ ደግሞ ሌላ አዲስ ቀን ነውና ዛሬ ያንን አስበን ሳይሆን ዛሬ በአዲሷ ቀን ደግሞ አዲስ ሆነን ሰርተን አሸንፈን ለማውጣት እንፈልጋለን።
Even though we are confident for this game, it's a new game. The previous one is another game. We have to be serious for the game.
Just like the Vihiga coach, he's being cautiously optimistic. Won't give out too much about what he expects. Let me find out from Gladys. Gladys, who wins this?
First half, I go with Gogo.
Just one word. Who wins the game? Just one. This half. No. Just one. Who wins it?
I'm going to go with CBE of Ethiopia.
Well, Gladys has decided to forsake her village for the sake of non-partisan analysis. Ellie, who wins this?
I'm going for Vihiga, simply because it's a final. Everything that happened before is null and void. Today, the team that is eager, determined, and hungry wins it. I think Vihiga have more to fight for in this game. The scoreline, I don't know.
You can tell that both these two are Kenyan, so their feelings quite possibly split right down the middle. Well, it's time for us to join Mr. Gilbert Selebwa. Of course, then Gladys, take us through the first half. It's the final. It's Vihiga Queens versus CBE of Ethiopia for the chance to go on and play at the African Champions League for women. The very first one later on this year in Egypt.
Mirembe mno, the Vihiga Queens will beckon you as the Ethiopians will tell you, Ekwadenya metachu. Hello and welcome to the heart of the Central Business District, Nairobi, the capital city of Kenya, a technological hub in Eastern Africa and the home to the unique and diverse food system incorporating multinational ethnic cuisines from around the world. 13.5 kilometers from the city center on Nairobi Thika Highway, you will be ushered into the magnificent 60,000-seater capacity Moi International Sports Center in Kasarani. This is the final of the inaugural edition of the CAF Women's Champions League 2021 qualifiers for the CECAFA region, now referred to as the CECAFA Samia Suluhu Cup. Because the normal COVID protocols, we have to ensure that everything is sanitized, including the flags. And of course, the magnificent CECAFA 2021 trophy for the ladies is out here. Beautifully set up. And it's just a matter of time between Vihiga Queens and CBE of Ethiopia. One of those two teams will definitely put their hands onto this trophy. And not only the trophy, this trophy comes with a winner's prize of $30,000 US. And of course, the runners-up will definitely go away with $20,000 US. On top of that, the winner will represent the CECAFA region in the CAF Women's Champions League finals to be played in Egypt. Well, the two teams are lining up this afternoon. Vihiga Queens of Kenya battling it out with the team that is in black and white stripes, the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia. Vihiga Queens on the right side of your screen with the luminous green top and yellow shorts and stockings. But the lady on your screen is Loza Ginore, 13 goals to her credit. The top scorer of the CBE side will be out there to try and put her hands on this trophy. Because Vihiga Queens, who came into this game, remember, in the preliminary rounds, the Vihiga Queens lost by 4 goals to 2 against the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia. And they say, once beaten, twice shy. We do expect that they will put up a fight to behold to see whether they can be able to make amends from what happened to them in the preliminary rounds. Confederation of African Football, CAF, being the lead organization for the African continent. For the first time, a tournament of this nature being held right here at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, for the first time being held in the Eastern Central African region. And the usual protocols, the lining up of both teams on your right of your screen is the team in black and white, the CBE Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, huddling up for a group shot. And as you can see, the coach who has had a checkered career in his life, Coach Birhanu Gizao. And from the team sheet, Vihiga have literally made no change in their lineup. And of course, Lydian Award, who has conceded only 5 goals up to this point in time, starts in goal, aided by Phoebe Owiti and Alice Muderi in the center defense. And of course, Maureen and Marcelin Anyango as the 2 attacking midfielders in a 4-3-3 formation where Gentrix Shikangwa, 6 goals to her credit, will be aided by Violet Wanyonyi and Teresa Engesha. In between those 3, they have scored a total of 15 goals. Vihiga Queens, down in yellow, of course, the referees of the day, Swavis Iratunga from Burundi, will be aided by Fedis Bangarumbona of Burundi, the second assistant Janet Mbalama, and the 4th official from Florentina Chief from Tanzania. Goes in the coin toss, Enes Mudezi, the captain on the Vihiga side, just exchanging pleasantries with Loza Ginore, the captain on the Simba Queens side. On the on the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia football team, they have made only one change, of course, bringing in Hiwot Dengiso in the holding midfield role. Tiriko Balcha, who has conceded 4 goals to her credit, will start from goal, and Asabe Gila and Tizita will hold fort in the central defense. Hiwot Dengiso will aid Senait Bogale and Adisu Asfire in a 4-3-3 formation that will be led by Eregash, Loza, and Medina. Between them, have scored a total of 22 goals coming into this tournament. While the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia huddling up, they're trying to psych themselves up for a game of their life. Of course, the winner of this tournament will represent the CECAFA region in the finals to be held in Egypt at the end of the year. Number 20 on your screen, Lilian Award, the Kenya international, will be ready to take on the marauding strikers from the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia. Well, as usual, they psych themselves up. And the mood has already been set, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, on the bench, Coach Charles Okere, who also doubles up as the national team women coach, will be in the dugout to lead this Vihiga side out. Referee Swavis Iratunga of Burundi sets us off in the first half of this match that is expected to be very, very pulsating, with both teams in very, very good moods to see to it that they run away with this one. Well, the Queens start on a very, very solid note there, and from the word go, they have made decision that they want to start quickly and get into the scoreboard, and that is Violet Wanyonyi on the right-hand side, expected to provide the feed on the right-hand side for Vihiga Queens. Well, with me in the commentary booth, this is Gilbert Mavisi Serewa, and I will be aided by my analyst here, Gladys Mideja, who had a blast on the touchline. Gladys, welcome to the podium.
Well, thank you very much, Gilbert. What an introduction you have given me there, and what a start to this game. This is going to be absolutely exciting as the third place playoff that we heard earlier on, where we saw Lady Doves taking home $10,000 and the prestige of being the first team to finish third in this inaugural CECAFA Women's. And Violet Wanyonyi starting the Kenyan side on a high with that attempt.
Absolutely. Battle of the midfield. Was going to be tough here. CBE pushing from the left of your screen to the right of your screen. In good move there, Medina Baza. Medina Baza plays out to Girimeo Asefa, and a long pass. But again, goalkeeper Lilian Awar takes that one.
And Gilbert, this is what the Ethiopians have been doing throughout the tournament. From the flanks, they find space, put it in between the defenders and bully the defenders and score their goal. Now, Vihiga played this team. If there's anything they've learned, is to be very careful with the high line.
Absolutely. In the midfield, Hiwot Dingiso. Ball on the outside to Asabegila. Well, lost into the midfield. Picked up by Phoebe Owiti. Owiti, Enes Mudezi. Mudezi, again, trying to get to one, Teresa Engesha. Engesha with a good pass to Gentrix. Gentrix back to Maslin Anyango. Anyango with a cross into the box. A good shot there coming from Gentrix, but again blocked. Still not out of trouble yet. And goalkeeper Tarikwa Balcha, 4 goals conceded, comes in at the nick of time to thwart that attack. Again, trouble again looming on the Vihiga side with Medina Baza in tow. Again, very, very good start on both sides of the divide.
And that is Alice Muderi, and look at that by Terry Gesha. What skill she's shown there, shaking off the knocks she got in the previous game and turning up for the Kenyan side.
Absolutely. Girimao Asefa, back to Tizita. Tizita, Asabegila. Asabegila, checking where to put the ball, places to Girimao Asefa. Asefa, back to Tizita. Tizita, Asabegila. Yellows behind the ball, 11 of them, making it very, very difficult to the CBE to find any meaningful attacking options. Again, won back by Hasabegila. Hasabegila, Tizita. Tizita, midfield maestro, and this was foul. As foul, plays the ball to Medina. Again, Mudezi comes at the nick of time, gives it to Teresa Engesha. Engesha with a shot! Goalkeeper comes out at the nick of time to parry out a very, very dangerous shot from Teresa Engesha.
And what individual brilliance we're seeing there from Teresa Engesha, beating not one, not two, but almost 5 players to just get her space into that box. And very good goalkeeping there from Tariqua Balcha. She has had to do majority of the work in this first 4 minutes as we see the first corner of the day being taken there.
Absolutely,
Gilbert.
the first corner of the day being taken. Corner number 1. Lifted forward again. Collected by Engesha. Engesha! And again, Teresa Engesha, born on 15th of February 1998, 28 years to her credit. Schooled at St. Paul's Abao Girls, has a certificate in general agriculture. Engesha, 23 years old, with the rasping shot, and goalkeeper Tariqua Balcha in a very, very pensive mode.
Well, Tari has 17 goals to her name for Vihiga last season, so she definitely knows how to get the ball at the back of the net as Liliana Wall collects that ball very, very easily there. Nothing to scare her, arranging her troops and telling them go all the way forward and putting the ball forward.
Absolutely. Liliana Wall, 22 years, has won the Kenya Women Champions in 2017, been the runners-up in 2016, and of course a member of the Kenya Women National Team.
That was a foul there on Violet Wanyonyi. Violet Wanyonyi is the new acquisition for Vihiga Queens. She was acquired from Falcons, team from Eldoret here in Kenya, and between the 3 ladies there, they have 30 goals between them, so that forward line is looking very, very dangerous. And today the CBE are looking not to have that space they've always wanted.
Absolutely. Wanyonyi, back to Engesha. Engesha, Mudezi. Engesha again. Engesha with a good shot! Teresa Engesha.
And that was beautiful play between her and Marcelina Nyango there on the line. And she just saw the space and she decided to float it out. However, I thought she should have played it blind because Maureen Acheng was waiting for that ball in her favorite position, which is usually where it drops off and she scores. You can see there the goalkeeper not happy with how things are panning out for the commercial bankers of Ethiopia.
Absolutely. Engesha has simple instructions, shoot on sight. And twice she has sent some chilling moments there into that Ethiopian rear guard. But they collect their calm and they start the ball from Tizita. Tizita trying to find Loza. Good defending there. Picked by Sanite. Again lost to Morina Cheng. Cheng battles out with Sanite Bogale. Bogale plays wide to Bizayeu Tadese. Tadese again with a quick spin and a good 1-2 there. Dangerous play from the Ethiopians there. Again, quality defending from a spirited Vihiga Queens side. And then the far end, looks like there is a player who has been injured.
Well, that is, let's just see what happened there. And Tadase really an elbow there on Alice Muderi. And can be quite uncomfortable, you know, if you get that kind of knock and you are in motion. It's very, very uncomfortable. And I have to say, you know, the interesting thing about this lineup is that this is the exact same lineup that started, with the exception, of course, of Aimeku. She is the only person who did not start in... no, she actually did start in the first game against Vihiga. So Iakura is the only missing link in this game today. So they have tried to maintain their first 11 with just one addition, this commercial bankers of Ethiopia, and it's not looking very good for Vihiga United there because that is Alice Muderi, and this is going to be a very, very big blow for Vihiga United. She has been absolutely immense. She did not start in their first match against CBE of Ethiopia, and ever since she came into the game, Alice Muderi has been absolutely phenomenal.
Bizayeu Tadese, Tizita. Izita has played a very, very solid role at the back. And a big punt by Gina. Again, past assistant Hides Bengurambona from Burundi says it's an offside. Well, apparently, Gladys, that the first 11, all the 11 players on the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia side also play for the national team. So it's actually the Ethiopian national team playing against Vihiga, who have about 5 players playing for the national team of Kenya.
Interesting facts here, Gilbert. Again, it is important to note that the coach of the Ethiopian side of Commercial Bank of Ethiopia is also the national team coach. So it tells you where his heart lies and what quality of players he has in the national team.
Absolutely. And of course, on the Kenyan side, helping out on the Vihiga Queens side is also Charles Okere, who is also the head coach of the national team of Kenya for women. Buzayeu Tadese plays back to Hasabe Gila. Hasabe Gila, Buzayeu Tadese. Tadese into the midfield. He wants Dengiso. Dengiso, Hasabe. Sorry, Tizita. Tizita to Hasabe Gila. Hasabe Gila, Buzayeu Tadese. Buzayeu Tadese into the midfield for Bogale. Bogale, strong hold by Morina Cheng there. Plays a long pass. No man's land. Picked by Tizita. Miskel. Miskel plays to Buzayeu Tadese. Tadese plays the long punt forward to try and look for Loza. Loza, goalkeeper Lilian Awar. Only 5 goals conceded by Lilian Awar, who also doubles up as the Kenya national team women into the midfield. Big punt forward. Mudezi. Mudezi picks the ball into the middle, loses it. Headed out by Tizita. Again, it's still a midfield battle here. Maslin Nyango. Back to Mudezi. Mudezi trying to get Joanna Bire. Again, they lose it out to Asafa. Asafa, Girmao Asefa. Asefa, Tizita. Tizita with a long pass to try to find Loza. Loza, the most dangerous player, tries to play the ball wide. There to Aragesh Tadese. Again, she loses it up. Medina Baza. Aragesh. Aragesh. Morina Cheng standing now tall in the midfield battle.
Doesn't look good for the Vihiga Queens as we see Alice Muderi being stretched off there, and that's a very big blow on that right wing. Now what Vihiga have to do is try and make sure that they're keeping the ball more and not give spaces, because now they're playing -1 player as we wait to see what the condition, what state she is in, and whether Vihiga will be required to make a substitution.
Absolutely, Loza. Battle between Maslin Anyango and Bogale. Poor pass played back to Asfao. Asfao wide to Buzayeu Tadese. Tadese, Tadese, Tadese. Loza again. Morina Cheng, solid. Plays the ball to the 4 line to Gentrix. Gentrix Shikangwa. Gentrix Shikangwa. Shikangwa in the midfield to Maslin Anyango. Anyango trying to Engesha. Engesha loses it to Hiwot Dengiso. Dengiso. Hiwot. Buzayeu. Buzayeu. Aregash Tedese. Tedese with a long pass. Picked by Medina Baza. Medina Baza. Medina Baza in the box. Sets up her crime partner. But again, solid performance there from Teresa Engesha. And the ball still in the midfield. Bogale. Bogale. Again, misunderstanding between Bogale and Loza aids the goalkeeper. Coach Birhanu Gizao has been with Commercial Bank of Ethiopia for the last 10 years and has won more than 20 trophies, including 4 EPL trophies and 4 Super Cup trophies.
Well, he has also been named Coach of the Year 5 times, and we see Janet Bunde coming in for the injured Alice Muderi, and big loss for Vihiga. Now we are going to see something very interesting happening here. Alice usually plays the right back, and now here Janet Bunde is being called to duty to take a position that she is not very familiar with. I thought they would bring in Kadari, who played in the first game, but it looks like they trust Janet in that.
It's just a tactical organization there. Still danger looming. Loza getting picked out in the midfield by Gentrix Shikangwa. Shikangwa plays it back to Maslin. Maslin with the wrong pass. Again, ball play to Bizayo Tadese. Tadese, Hagila. Asabegila. The yellows drop back deep into the midfield. Ball wide to Bizayo Tadese. Tadese trying to get to Sanait Bogale. Lost again in the midfield. Picked by Maslin Anyango, Achieng. Lost to Loza. Again, Loza loses it to Janet Bundi. Bundi, who has been introduced in place of Alice Muderi, who's got injured. Bundi on the ball. Bundi, again. Solid clearance from the midfield. No-nonsense play from the Ethiopians.
Well, very interesting how to see this tactical lineup will now change. And the introduction just means that Janet Bundi and Violet Wanyonyi will have to share their duties on that flank. And they have to now be more composed and ask themselves, how much are they in it? It's now going to be a mental game here, Gilbert.
Absolutely, a mental game. Again, a bad pass to Gentrix. Gentrix collects it, gives it to Endesha, and again, they lose it at a very opportune time into the midfield. Picked by Adisa Asfao. Adisa Asfao, one of the members of the Ethiopian national team for women, plays it to Buzayo Tadese. Tadese plays it back to Gila. Gila back to Tadese. Tadese into the midfield to Dengiso Hiwot. Plays it to Tizita. Tizita with a lot of space in front of her. Trying to get to Loza with a long punt. Fantastic display there from the Vihiga central defender. A foul in between the two.
Lapse of communication there, Gilbert. All 4 players were trying to go for the goal. And that is Captain Mango.
Captain Enes Mudezi Mango. 18 years old, schooled at Riruta Centro. Her other profession is she's a web designer and a computer systems. Plays for the national team and has participated in the Olympic qualifiers in 2015. That is Enes Daisy Mango, the captain on the Vihiga side.
There's a tussle there between Marceline Nyango and Boizo. The 2 midfielders know that whoever gets the ball wins it for the team. And Marceline Nyango is just keeping an hawk-eye on Boizo. She knows the damage she can cause this lady Boizo, so you don't want to give her space.
Vivian Makoha plays the ball back to Lilian Awar. Awar with a long punt forward trying to get to Gentrix. Again, solid display by Grimao Asefa. From the back, Phoebe Awiti to Vivian Makoha. Makoha, Enes Mudeizi. Mudeizi to Gentrix. Gentrix into the midfield to Joan Nabire. And the referee calls for a foul. Warns Grimeo Asefa and issues the first warning.
Well, that was a very hard tackle there on Gentrix, and you can see her smiling on her way down because she knows how well marked she is.
Absolutely solid marking on Gentrix there. in the midfield. Adisa's foul, trying to get to Medina. Medina Baza. Medina Baza goes past Janet Bundi with a good cross in there to look for Loza. And then a quick play there by Morina Cheng just saves the Vihiga Queens their blushes.
The commercial bankers of Ethiopia have known that there is a hole there in that right back position, and they're trying to take advantage of that. So Vihiga have to push back numbers in order to make sure that they're covering that space. So Alice Muderi's injury is now being seen as a big, big loss.
Again, picked out by Tizita. Tizita tries to get the midfield maestro Adisa's foul. Adisa's foul back to Gerimau Asefa. Asefa, long punch to Loza. Loza, goalkeeper, comes out at the nick of time. Lilian Awar.
And look at that again. The, you know, that is Phoebe Owiti. She is having the duty of marking Loza, a lady who knows how to find her way in between spaces.
Absolutely. Adisa's foul. Trying to get to Medina, but good defending by Janet Bondi. Again, back to Visayeo Tadese. Against Violet Wanyonyi. And she wins a throw-in. Charles Okere, national team head coach for the ladies. And a standing coach for Vihiga after the head coach Alex Alumira joined the Tigers in Tanzania.
Interesting.
Ila Engesa. And just when Engesha was trying to pull her leg to try and strike, and Tizita came in at the nick of time. Dangerous play.
Looks like it is a battle of head coaches here, Gilbert, because head coach of the national team of Ethiopia is here, head coach of the Kenya national team is here. So they already know what they get to play with if they ever meet in future. They are going to be ready for each other, and it's going to be an interesting game here as we see the build-up for Vihiga.
Janet Bunda. Bandi. Back to the goalkeeper, Tariko Balcha. Ball back to Asabe Gila. Into the midfield. Hiwot Dengiso. Dengiso. Tizita. Tizita. Asefa. Asefa. Asfao. Asfao. Bogale. Bogale. And a big tussle between Bogale and Maureen.
That is actually Joanna Biir, and having her work cut out for her. Now, what Vihiga need to do is make sure that they're not giving this Ethiopian space to pass the ball. For the last about 18 minutes, they've been doing very, very well.
On a big punt forward, goalkeeper Lilian Awar punts the ball forward. Collected there by Wanyonyi. Again, still the ball in play here. Gentrix. Gentrix! The shot. Good technical application, but Gentrix Shikangwa lacked power.
And look at that. Look at Terry Gesha finding space in between the defenders, and she just did not take enough advantage of the miscommunication there. But looks like Vihiga are knocking, and they might just get an answer.
Absolutely. Questions are being answered. Questions are being asked here. And we are just waiting for the answers. Again, a foul by Loza Ginore, who's really not finding the feet as expected.
And let's just get a look at that. That was really nothing happened to her there. Trying to be a little clever, but the referee doing her business correctly.
Well, it's a race to the only slot that has been set aside for the winner of this tournament in the finals of the CAF Women's Champions League that will be played at the end of the year in Egypt. And either of these teams, Vihiga Queens or Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, will carry the flag of the region. Aragesh Tadese. Good cross by Aragesh. And a footing just let her down. Goalkeeper Lilian Awar. There's the ball back to Vivian Makoha. Makoha, Awar. Awar with a big punt forward, trying to get to Janet Bundi. Janet Bundi. Janet with a big punt forward, trying to get to Engesha. Good control there by Engesha. Small pass, and again, quick recovery there by Buzayeu Tadese. Just denies the number 10, Morina Cheng, an opportunity to strike.
Well, Terry Engesha has been immense, but look at Maureen took too much time. And again, such passes, you have to make sure you communicate to your teammate and tell her man on, or is it woman on?
Absolutely, man on, woman on. Doesn't really matter. Again, another cross from Bundi. Bundi trying to get to Engesha. Engesha, again, stolen by Aragesh Tadese. Bogale, Loza. Loza, Vivian Makoha. Loza, Vivian Makoha. Loza, and passes it to Bogale. Bogale, being held there by Joan Nabire. And again, quality defending there by the Vihiga Queens.
Well, you can see the midfielders being forced to go all the way back because that is Joanna Bire, and now...
Good cross in the box. Again, Aragesh Tadese with goal at her mercy. Tries to head the ball into the goal, but again, very quick recovery there from the Vihiga defenders for a corner.
You can see Lilian Awar is not happy because she expects the defense to do better, and this is the first corner that the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia is getting in this match. 27 minutes, Gilbert.
Asfau with the cross in there, picked out by Gentrix. Gentrix into the midfield, Marcelin Anyango. Anyango leaves it to Engesha. Engesha plays it to the right side to Wanyonyi. Wanyonyi with a shot! And it's a goal! Gentrix Shikangwa, currently on 6 goals. From a shot from Wanyonyi, a good run from the right-hand side. Wanyonyi picks a spot, sends the shot. Tirikwa Palcha fails to pick it up. And Gentrix Shikangwa scores her 7th goal of the tournament to put Vihiga ahead.
Well, look at that cross from Violet Wanyonyi. Absolutely had enough power to just make sure that the goalkeeper spills it a little bit. And there were 2 Vihiga players there. It was either Maureen or Gentrix, and it had to be the gem of Vihiga Queens, Gentrix Shikangwa, putting Vihiga on the scoreline 1-0 in favor of the Vihiga Queens of Kenya. What a start, because this is the first game that Commercial Bank of Ethiopia have to come from behind.
Well, Vihiga Queens leading in the 28th minute from a shot by Gentrix Shikangwa, who scores a 7th goal of the tournament. Well, Gentrix Shikangwa, 20 years old, from Wiyeta Girls School in Kenya, has won the Kenya Women League in 2017 and of course been the runners-up in 2016, a member of the national team under 20 in the qualifiers in 2017, 2018, and also a member of the senior team. Well, Vihiga Queens on the right here so far. Another good run there from Wanyonyi, who's really, really on fire this afternoon. And Vihiga have just stepped into another gear, and it's a foul. It's a foul there.
Well, that is Janet Bundy, the lady who's just come in. Little obstruction there, very right call by the referee on Tadase, Khalsa Tadase, getting the better of.
And that is Ms. Fatma Samora, the Secretary General of FIFA, in attendance.
Minutes gone, and we see Janet Bundy with the throw in there, and Vihiga winning the midfield battle so far, but losing it out for a throw-in for the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia.
Well, tough encounter. Tough encounter there. Vihiga Queens proving to be a hard nut to break down. They've been absolutely solid, especially defensively. And they've restricted the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia in their own half. Really, the tiki-taka that we've always seen from the CBE of Ethiopia really has not panned out in this match for the last 31 minutes. Dengise into the midfield. Again, dropped to Phoebe Awiti. Awiti in the midfield to Maslin Anyango. Anyango, Enes Mudezi. Mudezi, Gentrix back to Mudezi. Mudezi in the midfield to look for Engesha. Engesha to Maslin again, back to Engesha on the left-hand side, waiting for people to arrive. She cuts back, brings a good cross inside. Again, too hard to pick Violet Wanyonyi. Wanyonyi loses it out to Bezayeo Tadese. Tadese to Hagila. Hagila, long pass, trying to get to Aregash Tadese. And again, solid performance for Jamin Bundi for a foul on Aregash Tadese.
And Aregash Tadese just can't believe what has happened to her. That was a foul. And Janet Bundy needs to remember that she has just come in a little bit heavy, and that is her second warning. She might just be on a card, as you see her sending her apologies there to the referee.
Well, again, another big punt forward. The first time in the tournament that we've seen CBE trying to bypass the midfield and trying to get to their strikers, playing right behind the Vihiga Queens back four. But again, goalkeeper Vivian has been absolutely solid, coming in as a sweeper. Bogale, ball still in play. Back to Engesha. Engesha with a shot, but this time around it just goes too high.
Well, that is this is Terry Engesha. She's been absolutely phenomenal, and look at her finding space in between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a shot there, but was saved by the goalkeeper. And then again, look at her and Marceline Onyango. Beautiful football there, beautiful play there by the two ladies, and then another shot, but goes out wide. Terry Engesha, 17 goals to her name for the Vihiga Queens.
Absolutely, Teresa Engesha was in the women team for the qualifiers in 2018. Was also at the CECAFA in Rwanda in 2017. Has been with the under-20 World Cup qualifiers in 2016. And our previous club include Soccer Queens and Tata Girls. Joined Vihiga Queens in 2016 and also a certificate in general agriculture. Teresa Engesha has been absolutely outstanding for the Vihiga Queens in the first half.
Things are looking tight here for Vihiga Queens. That is Janet Bundy, who's just come in, going down there, and it looks like that muscle is a little bit tight there, and just waiting to see what the referee will say about this. Will she be told to get off the pitch? Will there be a strapping? What will happen? It looks like a hamstring. Very unfortunate for the Vihiga Queens here, but you can see on the other side of the touchline, and this is what happened here. Tadase and she just stretched. Stretch was a little bit just out too much for her, and she is up on her feet. That is a hamstring, trying to shake it off there at the edge of the box.
Absolutely. Daisy in the midfield. Again, Aragesh Tadese. Solid performance from Vivian Makoha. Aragesh Tadese moving from the left to the right-hand side of the attack, switching positions most of the time with Medina Baza. Back to Grimao Asefa with a long punt. Really doesn't find the target. And CBE finding it really, really difficult to permeate that tightly knit Vihiga Queens, the champions of the Women Premier League.
Well, save for the few first minutes where we saw Baza, she has had a very quiet 30 minutes or so, and this is not the kind of game this Ethiopians like. Looks like Vihiga have found the formula in that midfield to cut it off.
Absolutely. Solid performance. Wanyonyi loses it out to Asfau. Grimao plays the ball back to Tizita. Again, Vihiga Queens dropping back in numbers. All the 11 players behind that center line just shows you their tactical discipline in the first half, allowing Ethiopians to build up from the back. Intercepted by Gentry Shikangwa still moving, and the ball is given to the little Maslin Achieng in the midfield again. Achieng with a good cross. Again, good quality defending there from the Ethiopian rear guard, Pizayeo Tadese, coming in at the nick of time.
Well, look at that. They've just lost the ball for the first time, and that is Sabe Gila losing the ball there, and what a win by Gentrix Shikangwa. Good play between her and Marcelino Nyang and Maureen Achieng there as they're waiting for numbers up. Very, very clever play. They're good with set pieces. This might be a second.
Absolutely. Tough outing there for the CBE. That is Janet Bundi. A good cross, trying to get to Ngesha. Again, a header there. Picked out by Bogale. Baza to Aragesh to Baza again plays the ball to Bogale in the midfield, loses it, picked up by Dengiso again with a long pass intercepted by Daisy. Wanyonyi in the midfield to Enes Mudezi, the captain. Engesha loses it to Asfau, Loza, Asefa into the midfield. Adisa Asfau back to Buzayeo Tadese, an overlap run there by Aragesh. Again, a poor pass there from Medina, intercepted there by Janet Bundi, who's playing a very, very solid defense there. Bundi, who's a converted striker into a defender, giving a solid performance so far. Bogale into the midfield. by Vihiga. Loses it out to Bundi. Bundi tries to play a long pass there, intercepted by Dengiso. Tizita to Baza. Baza fouls Bundi, and Bundi for the second time in less than 10 minutes goes down.
Well, she has, I feel she has pulled a hamstring, so every time she goes down, it's going to be painful. And you can see, you know, Baza is not the biggest of players, so when she shoves you and you're in movement and you already have a muscle strain, it's going to be very painful. But again, the interesting thing about Vihiga, you've noticed that Terry Ngesha and Violet Wanyonyi have actually changed flanks now. So one has come to the left, the other has gone to the right. And this is what is confusing that backline of the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia.
Playing to their strength. The physicality of Vihiga against the technicality of the CBE. And of course, that one player.
That looks like it's Dengiso going down there. Yes, it is. It is Dengiso. A little shove. It was a 50-50 ball. Her and Terry Gesha were both trying to head it. And unfortunately, she got a little bit of a knock there. And both teams trying to find out what they can improve on, taking advantage of that break. And look at the coach there.
Well, Charles Okere knows that he's on a good stride here. And Coach Birhano Gizao. Well, on the Vihiga side, the coaches in a pensive mood. They know what it means to win this championship. They know it's between the $30,000 as the prestigious prize, and of course the honors of representing the CECAFA region in the CAF Women's Champions League finals in Egypt.
That is bit of a knock there for Hiwoit Dengiso. She's walking out of the field to get medical attention. Both teams regrouping and asking themselves what they can improve.
Well, a lot of accolades for Gentrix Shikangwa, a winner of the Soya Awards, best player, CECAFA top scorer in 2019, and Copa Coca-Cola top scorer in 2017. What a way to make an entrance in the Champions League. Dengiso, Hasabegila plays back into the midfield. Adisu says foul. Tonight, Bogale, Adisu as foul, wide to Asabegila, back to midfield maestro, Adisu as foul, Medina Baza, picked up in the midfield by Maslin Anyango. Anyango plays it to Wanyonyi with a good cross there, Wanyonyi. Goalkeeper Tarikwa Balcha, too close.
Well, that is a good cross. However, the numbers were not there, and I don't think she really looked up to where her teammates were. It should have been a little more of out box kind of cross instead of right into the goalkeeper's area.
Absolutely. Grimel Arsefa in the midfield to Adis Asfao, Loza, big tussle there in the midfield, collected there by Morina Cheng. Cheng back to Joan Nabirie, all the way outside to Bundi. Big fan forward, picked by Hasabegila. Asabe, Vihiga Tadese, back to Hasabegila. Asabe, Tizita, Miskel. Tizita, back into the midfield to Hiwoit Dengiso. Bogale, Dengiso. Asabe. Loza, big punt forward trying to get to Paza. Again, good clearance there in the defense. Picked here on the run by Wanyonyi. Wanyonyi picks out the diminutive Maslin Anyango, Engesha, Wanyonyi. Wanyonyi, big punt, trying to get, and there's a handball, a clear handball there by Morina Chieng.
Oh, Marina Chieng, she looks like she's quiet, but just when there is an attack, you finally see her. She's like a weed that just sprouts out in the middle of your garden, but really, like those good weeds.
Absolutely. Big punt forward by Girma Asefa. Again, solid performance by the Vihiga Queens. They push the ball outside because we have 2 minutes of added time in the first half. Asefa, and it's a foul. It's a foul by Enes Mudezi on Adisu as foul. Referee Swavis Irantunga from Burundi. And it's a foul there. I think this time round, the foul will be picked by none other than Aragash Tadese. Remember, Aragash Tadese has 1 goal to her credit and also a member of the national team. That should be a left foot in swinger. A lot of black and yellow, a mix of yellow in the box. Aragesh, long punt forward, and too far for trouble goalkeeper Lillian Award. Well, the technical application behind it, trying to bend the ball and try to get the upper 90, but it really didn't work out for Aregash Tadese. Long punt forward to Teresa Engesha. Teresa with good speed on the right. She gets herself into the box and we're cross there. Again, trying to bring up 45, but again, denied just at the need of time by Buzayeo Tadese. Good run there, good 45. Buzayeo Tadese comes in at the nick of time to that attack. Corner. Corner by Janet Bundi. Well, I think Bundi has taken too long, and referee Swavis Iratunga from Burundi says that we don't have time, and of course calls this game to half time. Goalkeeper Tariko Balcha conceded 5 goals now, and a good play by Janet Bundi, who came in place of Alice Muderi on the right-hand side of the defense for Vihiga Queens, has given a solid performance. And in general, Vihiga Queens huddling up together, because that is the goal that came in from a cross by Violet Wanyonyi. Goalkeeper fails to deal with it, and Gentrix Chikangwa Mirimo puts in her 7th goal of the tournament. And at halftime, Vihiga Queens lead by 1 goal to 0 against the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia.
International Sports Center, Kasarani, and the home girls are leading by a goal to nil. Vihiga Queens 1, CBE of Ethiopia nil. It's been all Vihiga Queens in that first 45. 62% ball possession versus 38%, 10 attempts v5, and then attempts on target 3 versus nil. Foul 6 apiece. I tell you what, when you look at those stats, they just tell you just how dominant Vihiga have been compared to CBE. Going into this game, everyone was speaking about CBE being the better team, being the best team of the tournament so far, but Vihiga Queens have come out and they've done a wonderful, wonderful job. Gladys,
yes.
We said that Vihiga needed to figure out what to do, and I think they have, and I think she has. I think Vihiga as a whole have. I think they've absolutely figured out what do we do differently.
What they've done differently, and I said this earlier on, it's not even about the strikers just yet. It's about the midfield. Look at the work Joanne, Nabire, and Marcelino Nyango have been doing. They've been outstanding in this first half, making sure that the Ethiopians are not getting that ball as much as they'd like to. I mean, you've seen the possession, 62-38. Really, these Ethiopians are not playing the game they are used to, and they're in unfamiliar waters, uncharted territory, and they don't like it.
Ellie, there must be a reason why the Ethiopians aren't playing the way they are used to. What's that reason? What have Vihiga done to stop that from happening?
First of all, I'm flabbergasted as to how CBE are playing. I don't understand what's happening. This is the very first time, actually, they have gone a goal down. They have not been in this position before. So we are waiting to see how they're going to react, and they have not reacted the way we think they should have reacted. And that's shocking, because a hallmark of a great team, when they're down, they know how to get themselves out of these tricky situations. And what Vihiga have absolutely done to perfection is not let CBE play around with the ball in their own half. They've let CBE play the ball in their half, but in Vihiga's half, they have been at it each and every time. When a CBE player has the ball, 2 players are there, shutting them, cutting out the passes, and it has been wonderful to watch.
I'll tell you what, we call it power play in Kenyan football, where you just go power play. I'd also add physicality to it, yes, because I feel that's what Vihiga have done differently. They've just been in CBE's faces, like, we are here, whenever you turn, we are there. Yes. And I think the Ethiopians are struggling to deal with that.
There's power in numbers. As Elijah's rightfully put it, every time one Ethiopian player touches the ball, you see 3 Vihiga players coming in. And that alone has destabilized them. They're running out of ideas, something which throughout this tournament we have not seen. As he's rightfully put it, they're behind for the first time. And now Vihiga just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And they are really doing it very well. They're causing them to make fouls in areas where normally they wouldn't be. And Terry Gesha has been absolutely phenomenal. She's not scored, but she's everywhere. If she's not on the left, she's on the right. If she's not on the right, she's just trying to find her way in between defenders. But look at that injury that Alice Muderi got. I thought with that, something would change for Vihiga.
Before we get to the injury, I was smiling when you mentioned Agesha, because that's the first thing we look at. That's the first highlight of what is in that first 45. She may not have scored a goal, but she's been involved in all things good for Kenya. There you go, Gladys, talking about her. She has been the bright spark. I mean,
like in that particular pass, she beat 3 defenders to just find space into it. And then there you go, 1. The second, the third, the fourth, and then shoots, just making sure that she makes the keeper alert and tells her, you know what, I can do this. Terry Gesha has 17 goals to her name last season. She's a woman who knows how to find that ball behind the net. And look at that play between her and Marcelino Nyango. Very beautiful piece of football there. Unfortunately, it just didn't go her way.
Yes, she's been very, very lively, and I think Kenya needed someone to be able to do that, because like Ellie said earlier, it's all about Gentrix. Gentrix seems to set the tone of the team, but it's good to have a different option and to see, you know what, Gentrix can do this, but so can Engesha, and I think she's shown her maturity in the game. Like, she's really kept trying to make things happen, and at times you just need someone to keep the momentum. Just keep the momentum. Keep trying and trying. And
that's what her and Violet Wanyonyi have actually done.
But I'm not happy with the way she's playing in the box. That's the most unfortunate bit of it. Outside the box, she has been phenomenal, tremendous. But now, especially in that particular play, she just needed to tap the ball just tap the ball.
Is it really just the defender? Doesn't the defender quite possibly put in
This is the first one. There's another one also.
There you go. I think the defender does
the
a
defender
fantastic
did
job
touch
there.
the ball. We have to give credit to the defender.
Okay, let's give it to her this time round. But there's another chance that she had. She only needed to pass the ball, and that's the thing about Terry.
Yes.
She's not passing the ball at the right time. Yes, you're doing your everything good outside
yes.
the box.
You're
but now,
trying and trying,
when
yes.
we need you to give us that final pass, you're not giving us. You're not giving it to Gentrix, because there are few moments where Gentrix was free, and had she given Gentrix, we would be talking about 2-0, 3-0 maybe.
Ellie, speaking of Gentrix, let's look at that goal, because I tell you what, persistence. I think that's the key takeout from that goal, because, guys, here is the ball. Kenya moving on the attack. Like I said, it's been all power play. We try to go forward as quickly as possible. Ball spread out wide right, and then the cross comes in. The keeper makes a meal of it. But look at that for persistence, Gladys.
Now, interestingly, that shot, that pass was a build-up from Terry to Wanyonyi. Wanyonyi crosses the ball in. And look at the two players that are there. It was either Maureen or Gentrix. It was going to be either or. And we did talk about Maureen in dead ball situations. But then the goalkeeper just spilling it out there. And, you know, you don't want to spill such balls when the likes of Maureen and Gentrix are there. And what a gem she has been. Not the best of goals, but does it really matter? As long as it's behind the net, we can speak about the quality of the ball later.
For me, it's the persistence. Like
Yeah.
I am going to get this over the line no matter what.
Yes.
And Vihiga have been gung-ho from the first minute till the last minute of the 45 of the first half. And that play there is an example of how they've been in each and every facet of the game around the pitch. They have been persistent, consistent, getting on their faces. Yo, we are here. We're going to give you the fight. They're taking the fight.
I know in
to
Swahili we
CBE.
call it kufika, like you're just there. As soon as you're there. I mean, it's local balance for you just being able to press and to constantly be fast on the ball. I almost feel as if they've looked hungrier. They've looked hungrier. Vihiga have just looked the hungrier, the more they have got more desire. And of course, like you said, if Gentrix is on song, then everything else works.
Everything ticks, everything ticks. And I remember saying, this is a final. We don't care about the tactics too much about it. We care about the determination. Who's hungrier? Who's hungrier? We have seen from the first minute, Vihiga are hungrier. And actually, they want it.
I remember earlier on in the first 4 minutes or so,
Yes.
they should have scored a goal. And, you know, they caught the CBE unawares, and the defenders were asking themselves, what is going on? We were expecting you guys to just be a little bit more calm. But no, they didn't want to do that. They just wanted to keep pushing. And that kind of pressure with people who've played 120 minutes is definitely going to take a toll on them, and we're not seeing the best of it.
Gladys, I know tactics are a big part of football, because we know the Ethiopians, they knock the ball around. They're very technically, they're really good.
Yes.
And they're able to pass the ball through those spaces, especially in midfield. But Vihiga have simply stopped that from happening.
Yeah, created a wall of Berlin in between. Every time they lose the ball, they convert back to a 4-5-1, leaving only Gentrix there. And then when they win the ball, now you see Terry Agesha and Violet Wanyonyi converting back now to the 4-3-3. So really, they just built the wall of China, added the wall of Berlin, made sure that they're not going anywhere near their defenders. And with the loss of their right back, they have to make sure that they're doing this in the best moments possible. Cut off Boizo, cut off Baza. Hiwoit is not even getting those crosses as she would every time she does that. I mean, Enes Mudezi coming from right back just to clear the ball back into the midfield. It's an absolute phenomenal game. I mean, if we were talking about local terms, it would have just been the ball is everywhere, up in the air, and then down, and then next on the flanks.
When you go back to Gilbert, ask him what he calls that kind of football.
I know what it's called.
He'll tell you what he says, yes. But anyway, look, every tournament is supposed to produce stars. Can we justifiably say, I know it's early, but given what we've seen since day one, is Gentrix, could she be the product of this tournament, like the star who's born from these qualifiers?
Yes. In fact, I was thinking about who would be the MVP. At first, in my mind, it was Loza. But now, looking at this game, it has to be Gentrix. Because when you need your star player to stand up, to be counted, to carry the team, she hasn't turned up.
Like,
really,
turn up when it's crunch, when you need it done. Because she turned up in the semi, scored the winner. Turned up today, scored the opening goal. So I get what you mean in terms of you being able to step up. Like, big moments call for big game players, and she's done that. Gladys, what does CBE do in the second half? How do they change this? Because they have got to change. They have had 38% ball possession. 38%.
This is CBE we're talking about.
They've got to find a way to get back into this game. What do they do?
Gentlemen, calm down. Stop telling me all about the possession. I get it. I get what you're saying. But however, I think what CBE need to do is now contain themselves better. They're also trying to play long balls, which is not working for them. Yeah. So what they need to do, they just need to slow down the game if they want to be able to contain Vihiga. Vihiga taking it too fast pace. So if they slow it down, they'll definitely get the loopholes that they're seeking in this from this Vihiga team. Slow it down, then be faster in decision making. They've actually been very poor in decision making in this first half. If they're faster and better in decision making, they're definitely going to get something out of it. I think it's still too early to call an MVP because there's another 45 to play. I want to give credit where it's due. Gentrix has been phenomenal in the first half, but however, let's see how the Ethiopians turn out to be, because as you said, technically and tactically, they are better. And if they can change this game, it's also going to be a very big decider on what will happen. After all, we do know Vihiga plays better in the second half, so it's going to be more interesting.
But I think actually, Vihiga are the ones who are forcing CBE to make the decisions rather than,
rather than the other way around.
In the previous games, CBE were the ones who were dictating the play, but now Vihiga are forcing them.
So Vihiga had a really good first 45. Do you change anything early, or do you just say, look, as you are, let's keep going? Let's just keep going.
I don't think you need to change anything as it is right now, because when Muderi got injured, I looked at you and I was like, wow, this is going to be a big miss. But suddenly, Bundi has been phenomenal. But so far the system is working. Onyonyi is doing her work on the right-hand side. So don't change it. If it's working, if it's not broken, don't change it.
Gladys, CBE.
I think we might just see Hege coming in the midfield. I don't know how bad Hiwoit's injury is, but we might see the likes of Tigist Hege coming in. She is also very good at the midfield. It's going to be important for them to change something.
Well, you've heard it there from Gladys, what each team needs to do. Well, I tell you what, from the first 45, the Vihiga Queens have the upper hand. CBE have got 45 minutes in which to turn this round. Otherwise, Vihiga will be heading all the way to Egypt. Back to you, commentary, and Coach Gilbert Selebwa.
Well, welcome back to Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, where the finals of the CAF Women's Champions League 2021 qualifiers for the CECAFA region is being held. Vihiga Queens of Kenya leading the CBE of Ethiopia by 1-0. A goal that was scored by Gentrix Chikangwa Mulimo in the 28th minute. Was very, very solid performance from the Queens. Whether they'll keep up the same performance, they keep up the same composure, the next 45 minutes will determine that. Well, from the right of your screen is CBE of Ethiopia, and from the left of your screen is the team in yellow, Vihiga Queens. Gentry's Chikangwa Mirimo. Good run, trying to get to Engesha. Again, picked up in the defense. They play the ball in the midfield. Medina Baza. Mudezi with a good shot on the left-hand side of the attack. Solid defending from the Ethiopians. From the onset, just like they started in the first half. A corner in the first minute of the second half. And the referee says you have to place the ball at the right place. Ball comes in again to Engesha, picked on the right-hand side with a good shot there from Vivian. Actually, Phoebe Owiti on the turn, but just doesn't hit the target. They start their build-up from the back. Girimao into the midfield for Hiwot Negiso. Negiso to the right to find Tigiza. Tizita, long punt forward, intercepted in the defense. Again, back to Tizita. Tizita plays the ball to midfield maestro, Hiwot Negiso. Negiso trying to play the long balls behind the Vihiga defenders. The That's a good run on the right, picked by the Maestro herself. This was foul, but again, solid defending. Big punt forward, Engesha. Loses it out into the midfield. Ball back to Asfao. Asfao Bogale. Quick fit. Again, she loses it out to Morin. Morin again with the wrong pass to Buzayehu. Buzayehu, Aragesh, Tadese. Aragesh, Aragesh, Aragesh on the cross. Goalkeeper Lilian Awar comes in at the nick of time as I welcome back my analyst, Gladys Midecha. Gladys, what do you expect in the second half?
Well, Gilbert, Vihiga have picked it up from where they left it off, putting pressure on this commercial bank side of Ethiopia, and really it's working in their favor. They're everywhere the Ethiopians stand, they meet a yellow jersey, and the kind of pressure they're putting, I don't think this Ethiopian side was ready for it.
Well, another long shot there coming from deep midfield by Teresa Engesha. 5 goals to her credit. She turns around, picks a spot. Again, this time, Raleigh doesn't hit the mark. And it's the second corner.
Of the second half.
Of the second half.
Well, Gilbert, you know, this Vihiga side are very good in set pieces. They've been taking excellent set pieces in this tournament. They just need to place it in better, and let's see how they deal with this, because they have the height in the box.
Janet Bundi. Big punt forward. Again, good defensive play there by Asfao. Ball still in play, and they failed to contain it. And it's a quick restart by Tirikwa. Plays to Buzayehu Tadese. Tadese in the midfield. Bogale. Bogale, Tadese. Tadese, Loza. Loza, who's been closely marked, to Asfao. 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 Still building up. Grimao Asefa. Asefa. Back to Medina. 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 Medina with a good run. Getting into the box. Medina to Loza. Loza, Medina. Medina. And it's a play on. Again, as Tizita comes in at the nick of time to hand Gentrix a foul.
And look at that play by Medina Baza. Clever there between her and Loza. 1-2s. Really no foul there. I think the referee did get it right. Just a little bit, little of a slip from... And the referee just explaining, I did see it, no contact. And look at that, Sabagilia not very happy. Medina Baza having a quiet day today, Gilbert.
Absolutely, Medina Baza, 8 goals to her credit so far in this tournament. Has had a quiet day. And maybe at this point in time, they will be thinking of making a substitution just to rejig their forward line. Ball back into the midfield there, Asfao. Medina Baza closely marked there by Mudezi. Captain Fantastic, who has done absolute fantastic today. Enes Mudezi, the Kenya Methodist University alumni, 2013, 2015, and also champion of the Football Kenya Federation National Division 1 in 2015, has had a stint with the national team for the ladies in the qualifiers in 2016 and of course the Olympic qualifiers in 2015. A solid performance from the captain, fantastic Enes Mudezi Mango from the Vihiga side. Gentrix in the midfield. Maslin lost to Asfao. Asfao to Loza. Loza. And the ref feels that Rosa was brought down.
I can see the intensity on her face there, and that is Phoebe Owiti, feeling she did not do any infringement, and she feels Loza went down a little bit too easy.
Well, Phoebe Owiti says, it wasn't me. But the referee doesn't want to hear none of that. foul. Asabe Gila also in the box. Well floated there, and it's an own goal. Well, just when we thought that they were done with Vivian Makoha from a set piece by the CBE. Goalkeeper comes out. Vivian Makoha tries to place the ball wide, but again ends up putting the ball in our own net.
Well, Gilbert, in such situations, you know, as a goalkeeper, you have to communicate with your backline. If you're going to come out for the ball, you have to make sure that you're telling your defender, leave it for me so that I can be able to clear it for you. Pure communication there, costing Vihiga an own goal, and interesting second half it's turning out to be.
Interesting second half, and Vivian Makoha ties the game for CBE by making an own goal in the 53rd minute. Vihiga Queens 1 and CBE 1. What a way for the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia to get back. And it's a tough encounter here between the two finalists here. And of course, the CBE will step up the game. Back to Aragesh Tadese, and one back. Wanyonyi played ball forward to try and get to Gentrix. Gentrix closely marked by Asabe Gila. In the midfield, John Nabire plays the ball wide. And again, solid performance here. Mudezi way in advance to the goalkeeper. Again, the ball has literally gone out of play. And coach Charles Okere in a very, very pensive mode. Back to Hagila. Asabe Gila. Into the midfield, he was Dengiso. As foul, Dengiso. Tizita. Still pushing forward. The Ethiopian side. Playing a long pass again, collected by Vivian Makoha. Trying to get to Gentrix. Again picked by Asabe Gila. Asabe Gila with a long pass. Intercepted by Janet Bundi. Wanyonyi in a tussle there. And it's a foul by Wanyonyi by Buzayeu Tadese.
Well, very careless foul there we are seeing from Buzayeu Tadese. And substitution is being made here by the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia. It is Boizo. Boizo is making a way for Ware. Birtukan Ware is coming in for Senayet Boizo. Looks like she was overwhelmed in the midfield, and fresh legs for the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia in the 56th minute of this game.
Absolutely. Ware Birtukan, donning number 11, comes in for Sanait Bugale just to reject the midfield. Bundi with the long punt forward. Goalkeeper comes out, Tarikwa Balcha, who has conceded only 5 goals in this tournament in normal play.
Good free kick there by Janet, just enough for the keeper to collect it. She should have put it slightly a little bit in the box and probably try to look at what they would do with it.
Back into play, Asabe Gila to Vihiga Queens. Well, again, double tragedy here for the Vihiga Queens. 2 players being brought down concurrently here. Wanyonyi being the first one to be knocked off by Sabegila, and then the ball goes to again to Triza. Clear foul. Well, Sabegila gets into the referee's box. The yellow card calls Fatma Samora, the FIFA Secretary General, alongside the head of women at FIFA, Ms. Sarai, in attendance today.
There is tears there for the Ethiopian defender, Meskel. Tizita Meskel. Look, she's coming out injured. She fouled Gentrix, but... And this is Violet Wanyonyi putting in a beautiful cross, setting up Gentrix Shikangwa for the first goal for Vihiga Queens. And what a celebration that was. And then good set piece taken there. Poor communication between the goalkeeper and her defense, giving Ethiopia the equalizer courtesy of an own goal by Vivian Makoha.
The free kick for Vihiga by Janet Bunde with a long punt. Still in play here. Picked by Gentrix Shikangwa Mirimo. Shikangwa. Good cross coming in. And it hit the crossbar here. That is Teresa Engelsha. No, sorry, Violet Wanyonyi. It's a good control on the left-hand side with the blockbuster dropping back. Goalkeeper well beaten. Again, you must thank the post and the president of the Federation, Kenya Federation, Nick Mwendo. Can't believe.
What a miss that was.
Again, ball still in danger here. And again, another corner. Another corner. Goalkeeper Tariko Balcha ensuring that all the areas are marked, and in the process, goalkeeper Tariko Balcha.
Well, here I think it's tired legs actually giving in. Remember, Ethiopians did go for extra time in their game against the Lady Dubs of Uganda in the semi-final. And look at that by Violet Wanyonyi. What a cross. And surely the crossbar just did a number on her, and her defending had to come into play there. But what a shot by Violet Wanyonyi.
Well, the only player who's allowed to be injured, to be treated on field, is the goalkeeper. And of course, in your picture is the Football Kenya Federation President, SS Nick Mwendwa. Just enjoying the moments there, alongside other dignitaries. Well, the FIFA Secretary General is also in attendance, Ms. Fatma Samora, and she is in the company of the FIFA Head of Women, Madame Sarai. And of course, our own president of the Football Federation of Kenya, Presida, as popularly referred to, Nick Mwendwa, is also in attendance. Bundi Janet with the corner. Tough moments here in the Ethiopian rearguard. Goes Dizita. Meskel tracking back into the field. Well-carved goal. Corner there, but again, that header by Wanyonyi.
And just as Loza unmarked her for 1 second, she actually became a threat, and tells you how important the CBE have kept in mind that they need to make sure those set pieces are not going anywhere at the back of the net. And as we take a look at that on goal again.
Well, looks like there is an injured player, and Tizita Meskel, who got injured earlier. And this is a set piece from Puzayeo Tadese with a big punt forward. Again, that reaction by Vivian Makoha lands the ball into her own net.
Yes, there was a touch there by Vivian. There was a touch there by Vivian. Very small touch by Vivian, but it was an own goal. And you can see the celebration there, and she's like, oh, it's okay. It happens in football.
It does happen in football.
Yes. And we're seeing a player here being stretched off. And that is Vivian Makoha there. Eyes on her as the player is being stretched off there. That is Tizita Meskel. She's played all the matches in this tournament. Surely your feet have to give in at some point.
Absolutely. Teresa Engesha to Gentry Shikangwa. Gentry Shikangwa back into the midfield now. Joanne Navire. Shikangwa with a shot! Hits again the crossbar. Wanyonyi, and really doesn't have a quality technical application on this one. But what a way for Gentry Shikangwa to come into the second half.
What a shot that was, again being denied by the goalpost. At this particular point, they're feeling that the goalpost should be stretched up a little bit, because two being denied is not fair, really. And there's another player down here, and those are the moments where you look at your bench and you know, and she's shaking her head, she's saying she can't walk. Looks like it's taking a toll on this team.
Well, as you say, the legs here are giving in, and that is good quality by Shikangwa Gentrix, the Kenya Women Premier League champion in 2017, runners-up in 2016 from Uyeta Girls, 20 years old, and under 20 national team campaigner in 2017 and 2018, has also had a stint with the national team in 2019, 2020, 2021, and of course, just to crown it all, the CECAFA top scorer in 2019. Again, another good shot from Engesha Teresa, but this time not hitting the mark.
Well, another substitution is being made here, and this is Tizita Mekesel, who's been substituted, the one who was stretched off, and in comes Yakura. Yakura played in the first game against Vihiga. This is not a familiar match for her, but she's coming in fresh legs for the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia. So Tizita, who was stretched out, in comes in Yakura for her.
And another blockbuster there from Gentrix Shikangwa. She received the ball from her counterparty, and with the good technical application there, Gentrix Shikangwa, 7 goals to her credit so far, 20 years old, Kenya international, and she knows that this could have been it. This could have been it from the reaction of the bench, including players who were injured, and getting some moments to come and at least applaud that good shot by Gentry Shikangwa, who has been absolutely marvelous in this game.
Absolutely unbelievable. What a miss that was. That would have changed this game. And look at her. She beats the defender. Good power on that shot, causing the goalkeeper to, you know, stretch out a little bit more. And when she goes back to look for the rebound, she should have just put it a little bit more down. But I think there at that particular moment, she realized I just didn't do enough, and that hand does not look very, very good.
It doesn't look good. Teriko Balcha tried to stop Gentry Shikangwa in the ranks, and in the process injuring her wrist. Teriko Balcha, who has played in literally all the matches that the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia have played in this tournament, with a rocket of a shot from Gentry Shikangwa Mirimo. The people back in Vihiga must have applauded that, and wherever they are saying, Wari himbi kwingira.
I can do that translation. It was just
Yes,
close,
go ahead.
this close to getting.
Saying it was just too close, just too close. Well, it's tough. It's been a tough encounter,
And especially in this second half, it's been very, very tight.
It's been a solid performance from the Vihiga Queens midfield there. And again, ball starts in the midfield. Collected by Maslin Anyango. Again, solid performance there from the players just come in. Tariko Yakura. Again, ball cross there. Banyoni gets back. And Gentry! Gentry Shikangwa to the goalmark melee across from Wanyoni, and lands right in front of Gentry's, and Gentry's really wanted to tear that net. That's a blockbuster from a lady who scored 7 goals, and that is the governor of Vihiga, Oltichiro, in the VIP box, knows that this would have been a moment to change the tiding. 70 minutes gone. Gladys Midecha, what do you make of the game so far?
Well, so far it's all been a Vihiga affair, including the own goal that has helped the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, and they're putting a lot of pressure in their half. I really don't think after that goal the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia have gone anywhere near the half of this Vihiga side. They're winning all the balls. Battle of the midfield seems to be controlled by Vihiga, and this is the first foul that they're getting on their half. And Gilbert, what a match this is turning out to be. 70 minutes of pure action, and that was a foul by Joanna Bire. Bit of a high boot there.
Joanna Bire, solid midfield performance from Vihiga. Again, ball collected, same distance by Loza Ginore. The hottest property in the Ethiopian Premier League, Loza Ginore. From a distance, a shot coming in, but again, it really does not hit the mark for a goal kick. Quick start there by goalkeeper, intercepted by Loza, and again, a foul. On PBOET.
Well, the weather has changed a little bit here, Gilbert. Just trying to cool down the temperatures. It's drizzling a little bit. because it's getting too hot at the Kasarani Stadium.
Absolutely. In the midfield, Ware Birtuken loses it. Ware again gets it back. Ware Birtuken plays it back to Vizayo Tadese. Tadese loses it to Bundi. Bundi with a long pass there, trying to get to Gentrix. Gentrix is a 1-2 there by Engesha. Collected again into the midfield. He watched Dingiso, and it's a foul. It's a foul, 27 yards. About 27 yards out, away from the Ethiopian goalkeeping. Tariko Yakura.
She's just come in and handball there. Correct call by the referee, and in her face, she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, but that is a yellow card. And that is not a very safe distance. Tariko Yakura yellow carded there for that handball. Very familiar waters here for, you can see Hiwoit trying to tell the referee it's not there, just move a little bit behind.
Trouble in paradise. That distance is a good range for Gentrix Shikango and also Teresa Engesha. Both players playing for the Kenya Women national team, and today charged with the honors of lifting Vihiga, setting up both players. She's good ball there, almost getting in between the goalkeeper's feet, but again Teresa Engesha really not having power behind it.
Well, good idea. Good idea. However, that is the kind of position where you put power.
And Medina Baza, very, very, very good goalkeeping there from Lilian Award. For the first time, Medina Baza busts into that defensive line, and it was from a crime partner, Loza. Beautiful run there, and solid performance from the lady who scored an own goal, Vivian Makoha, just saving the blushes for Vihiga Queens. Again, ball floated into the box. Loza, and a feeble header there by the midfield maestro. Just lacking in that box and fails to clear the lines.
Well, I think that was the miscommunication there, because you see Enes Mango had the opportunity to clear that ball, but she was not sure. Again, very good call from her, because she would have given away a penalty, but that is Hiwoit Dengiso, midfield maestro, as you rightfully put it in.
Well, she was not decisive. She should have buried that one. Another opportunity lost. Ball began from the left-hand side of the attack. Again, a good flicker there by Engesha. Goalkeeper Tariko Balcha picks it up. A long throw here to come and find Grimao against Asefa. Asefa on the right-hand side. Asefa with another long punt forward, collected by Vivian Makoa. Makoa losing it up to Loza. Loza trying to find Baza. Again, very, very solid display there by Lilian Award, the Kenya national team goalkeeper, on Baza. I think in the process, Medina Baza hit cold.
Well, look at that. The goalkeeper did come out first and touched the ball, and that was Hiwoit Dengiso trying to get herself on the score sheet there and being hard on herself and asking herself, how did I miss that? How did I miss that? As we see Baza getting some medical attention there from that save by Lilian Awar.
Well, they've had it rough. In the first game, they beat Vihiga by 4-2 in the preliminary rounds. But this time round, they're facing a totally different side here. Well-psyched, and a good sneak in by Loza Ginore to Hiwot de Giso. really not very being committal here. Should have buried that one. And that was a chance.
Too soft of a header. Easy pick for Lillian Awor. No problem. Well covered in her space. Credit to Lillian. She did move fast enough.
Absolutely.
Telling her charges go all the way forward. All the way forward. And there she is. Iwot Dengiso.
Well, it's good that Medina Baza is back on the field after a big hit from Lillian Awor. Grimao Asefa into the midfield to find Hiwit Dengisa. Dengiso back to Grimao Asefa. Asefa to Dengiso. Dengiso tries to get to Ware. Ware denied by Engesha, and the referee quite close to proximity of the crime. It's a foul. Asabe Gila. Big point forward, trying to get to Loza. Goalkeeper comes out, and it's a foul on goalkeeper Lillian Awor by Loza Ginore. Big punt forward.
Well, good goalkeeping there. Good goalkeeping there by Lillian.
But the Ethiopians here stepping into the fifth gear. A big punt forward. Goalkeeper Tariko Balcha comes out at the nick of time. Hasabe Gila. Gila tries to get to Aragesh Tadese. Tadese plays ball to Loza. Loza, good control. Loza still in control, denied in the midfield by Jowan. Again, poor pass there from Maureen. Picked out by Loza, who's dropped back deep into the midfield. Play the ball back to Hasabe Gilla. Hasabe Gilla trying to get to Aragesh. Again, good interception there by Janet Bundi, the right back on the Vihiga side. Quick restart there to try and get to Aragesh. Again, solid performance there for Vivian Makoha. Ware.
She was trying to be clever with that. Unfortunately, it didn't work in her favor. Bit of very impressive play there, but too much, a little bit too much on it, and just out for a throw-in for Vihiga.
Absolutely. Bundi, and the first assistant, Fides Pangurambona, says the ball had gone out. It is a throw-in for CBE. Poor throw collected by Engesha. Gentrix with the run, closely watched by a very hawk-eyed Tariko Yakura. Lost it. Good shot from a distance. Good goalkeeping there. Very good shot there from Teresa Engesha.
It's actually Violet Wanyonyi there with that shot. Beautifully taken. I thought it was a weak shot until I saw the goalkeeper go for it. And sometimes as a goalkeeper, when you misread such shots, they actually get converted into goals. And then people ask, why didn't the goalkeeper see that? So good insight there from the Ethiopian, the Commercial Bank of Ethiopian goalkeeper.
The big cross coming in there. This time round, really not hitting the target. But header by Maureen Acheng. Just going haywire. 81 minutes with only 9 minutes on the normal time. Another big pump forward. Loza found in a no man's land.
She's trying to get this Vihiga defense flat foot, and good decision making there. It was an offside. However, they need to be careful with that high line now, because these are the dying minutes. One mistake can cost you.
Absolutely. As foul, Girmeo Asefa. Asefa intercepted there by Wanyonyi. Well, it's been tough. It's been tough for both coaches, both national team coaches, both club coaches. With checkered career. Today is a D-day for both. Again, intercepted by Medina. Medina, she loses it out. Mudezi back to Vivian Makoha. Makoha with a long one to find Wanyonyi. Again, pass not intended.
Seen a lot of Violet Wanyonyi in this second half with those crucial, very hard crosses, and what a play she has had.
What a play. Bundi plays the ball forward. And again, solid performance there from Asawe Gila. Loses it to Gentrix. Gentrix back to Engesha. Teresa with a shot! Just hitting off the mark.
Well, that was a good pass. And look at that, Terry Engesha just missing it out. She's been looking for a goal. I think she should be rewarded with one.
Absolutely.
And you can see the reaction on her face, disappointed and wondering, how did that not get in? Well, it was too long.
Into midfield, Joanne. Gentrix! And it hits the goalkeeper's chest. And good reflex action by the goalkeeper. What a way to test the goalkeeper from a distance. 20 years old, but packs the power of a mule.
They say when you're young, you are strong, and that is the foul that has been committed on Terry Engesha there by Tarikwa Yakura. She's already on a yellow card. She needs to be extremely careful.
Absolutely. Into the midfield, Joanne. No, that is Wanyonyi to Gentrix again. Gentrix to Engesha. But good display there by Asawe Gila. Trying to get to Loza. Closely marked there by Vivian Makoha, who has had a solid performance. Ware, Buzayeo tries to play back to Ware, but again, Joan Navirie puts up a solid performance in the midfield. Quick throw there by Buzayeo Tadese. Intercepted by Maslin. Maureen Acheng to Engesha. Engesha with a quick cross there. It finds it in a prime position again. Gentrix twice in a span of 30 seconds. The ball still in play here. Engesha again trying to angle herself with a shot, but she fails to get the mark. This would have been the moment.
Well, look at that. Engesha just looking for who to pass the ball to, and then a blind pass, beautiful, to Violet Wanyonyi. Good save by the goalkeeper then back to Gentrix. She just didn't get her footing right, unfortunately, and then back again. And then Terry this time just tries to put in that shot. Unfortunately, went way too high.
What a miss. 3 consecutive chances in a span of 30 seconds. Well,
happening all too fast, too furious.
Too fast, too furious. Even for Coach Charles Okere, knows that this would have been it. And Engesha, who has had an outstanding performance, though she has not scored in this match, but Teresa Engesha, born on February 15th, 1998, and 23 years. Of course, from the ensuing, another defender there, that should be Busayeo Tadese, the CBE left back.
Look at that blind pass there, beautiful play displayed there by the Vihiga Queens. Good goalkeeping there, and then again another effort there by Gentrix Shikango, and that is Violet Wanyonyi winning the ball.
Absolutely, in the midfield, Joan Nabire loses it out, again picks it up, lays it wide to Bundi. Bundi in an advanced position. Bundi with a cross there in the box. Again, picked by Gentrix! Gentrix Shikangwa with a good run on the right-hand side by Janet Bundi. Failed clearance by the Ethiopians, and as it seems very easy to score, again Gentrix punts the ball, but this time round saved by the Ethiopians defenders. The corner kick, goalkeeper Tarikwa.
Every time there's a corner, she has to, you know, ask herself if she's breathing, and she doesn't look okay. Those shots from Gentrix look like they're too heavy. And she keeps getting them, and her muscles are just giving in. And look at that, Janet Bundi running all the way up, and what a cross that was. Very clever play. Poor clearance by Tariku there, and what a shot by Gentrix, again denied by the goalpost. Look at her face, she's saying, I'm getting it in there.
Oh, that youngster, the youngster from Uyeyeta Girls has really been a thorn in the flesh. Soya Awards Best Player, Magharibi Awards Best Player, Coca-Cola, top scorer in 2017, CECAFA, top scorer in 2019. What a way for Gentrix Milimo Shikangwa.
And look at that, these are the goals, just in case you forgot them. What a cross from Violet Wanyonyi, and good goal there by Gentrix. It doesn't matter how you score it, it's whether it's at the back of the net. As we see another substitution here happening for the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, and that Bizwahu Tadese was injured. In comes Legese Lakwe. Legese Lakwe comes in for Tadase. Bizwahu Tadase out. In comes.
Well, Leku Legese coming in for the injured Buzarieu Tadese in the 89th minute. Going to see whether he can be able to salvage something. And Janet Bundi preparing to bring the corner in. Bring a high ball in there. Again, solid performance from Ware in the defense. Big punt forward, collected at the back by Vivian. Vivian with another long pass, trying to get to Teresa, but again, very, very solid performance there from Leku Legese. Gentrix. Back to Maslin Anyango. Anyango again, Ware comes in at the nick of time. Ball is played into the midfield by Joan. Joan back to Vivian Makoha. Makoha to Bundi. Bundi again. Good tackle there coming in from number 16 there. Leku Legese, who has just come in place of Buzayeo Tadese, who's been injured. Legese back to Asabe Gila. Asabe tries to get the ball to Loza. Again, very, very quick move there by Vivian Makoha. Makoha picked right into the midfield by Budi.
Well, Gilbert, 4 minutes of added time here. Tension is everywhere. And looks like we're going for another game. The second game of this tournament might just go into extra time. Another 120-minute game here. What a second half this has been. What a display of football.
Absolutely.
By the women in the CECAFA region.
Good performance. Medina. Again, Medina still in contention here, but she loses it out. Bundi trying to run to it, and the ball goes out. Remember, if this game ends the way it is, we shall go into an extra time of 15 minutes, 30 minutes extra time to decide who between the CBE and Vihiga Queens will represent this region, the CECAFA region, in the CAF Women's Champions League in Egypt. Again, fall back into the midfield, Janet Bundi. Janet Bundi Still in the midfield, Maslin, the long pound forward trying to get to Terry. Terry marked out by Hasabe Gila, and she clears the ball out for Enes Mudeizi. The captain, fantastic on the Vihiga side. Coach Birhanu Gizao looking at the clock, knowing that any moment from now, they could be extended into another pulsating 30 minutes off.
I didn't see any foul call there, Gilbert. I think the referee might just have not got it unless there's another angle in which we can see it from. But they take this free kick in the dying minutes of the second half. In addition, I'm surprised that they only added 4 minutes, Gilbert. There was so much action and so many players down. I feel 4 minutes was not enough justice here, but
Baza trying to buzz herself through a number of yellow stockings, and he can make a breakthrough here. Wanyonyi, and it's a penalty. A good run by Violet Wanyonyi, gets herself in a prime position here. Denied a goal-scoring opportunity by Terikwa Yakura,
and
who is already on a yellow card.
And Gilbert, we were talking about Tariku Yakura. She's come in and it's like she's not settled into this game. And look at that beautiful, beautiful play. And if I'm not wrong, Gilbert, this could be a red card, a second yellow, because she was the last player there. That is a penalty, and Violet Wanyonyi looks injured. Let's hope that it is nothing serious there, because we've had too many players being stretched out, too many players coming out not in the best of conditions here, and she's asking herself, what did I just do? And look at the reaction of the coach.
Well,
and she looks like she was crying there, Gilbert.
Yeah,
tears of pain.
These are tears of joy.
Tears of
and of course Tarikwa Yakura really isn't crying for joy here. She knows that she has punished her counterparts. It's 94 minutes. This is the last minute of the extra time. And what a time, what a moment, what a place for the referee, Swavis Iratunga from Burundi, to award Gentrix Shikangwa with an opportunity 12 yards away from the goalkeeper, Tariko Balcha, who has been very, very, very solid in that goal for the CBE. And it's a big call here by coach Charles Okere on the youngster, 20 years old, Gentrix Shikangwa Mirimo, Wayeta Girls School, KWPL champion in 2017. The CECAFA top scorer in 2019. Will she bury this one and send Vihiga? And Gentrix Shikangwa Mirimo. Gentrix Shikangwa Mirimo, with a few seconds remaining on the clock. Honorable the governor of Vihiga, Oltichiro, and of course the Western chairman in the VVIP. A good run by Wanyonyi. She knew she was getting into the box. She got into that box, and with 12 yards from the goalkeeper, Gentrix Shikangwa, the CECAFA top scorer in 2019, with an opportunity to get onto the score sheet for the second time today, has literally put this one beyond the goalkeeper Tariko Balcha. And what an excitement on the bench by the technical staff. They know that this is it. They know that this is it. And Tariko Yakura who came in for Tizita Miskel. At the moment when everybody was expecting that this game was going for extra time, it lifts the spirits of Honorable and the governor of Vihiga Odutichiro up on his feet, courtesy of this youngster, courtesy of Tiriko Yakura. And as it starts pouring, it has also poured on the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia.
Well, a substitution is being made there, and Terry Egesha is making way for many.
And the referee, Swavis Iratunga. Referee Swavis Iratunga from Burundi calls this one to a final. And what started for a loss for Vihiga against the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia in the preliminary round, this time round they say once beaten, twice shy. And what a way for the ladies in yellow to make a comeback in what has been a final to behold.
Well, what a final it was. We knew that this is going to be a game of the tournament. It has turned out to be a match. And you see, Gilbert, it had to rain because we needed to cool off the heat. And look at that penalty. That was a penalty, correct call there. And quality penalty there by Gentrix Shikangwa. If the ladies in this tournament can take such penalties, and I'm telling you, it's been heartbreaking for Yakura there. She's not had the game she was expecting to have. She's an excellent player. This Ethiopian Commercial Bank of Ethiopian side have been wonderful, but at the end of the day, the Queens of Vihiga took the day, and look at that celebration. Oh, what a celebration that was. And they're showing you they're swimming into the winning waters, and look at that broke into dance there.
And what a way, what a dance. Avandu Vihiga must be very happy. Vihiga Queens at full time too. And the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia won.
First
here
loss.
In Kasarani.
First
Vihiga
loss.
Queens have made a statement.
The first loss for Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, and it came at a final. And there they are, and look at that dance, jubilation by the Vihiga Queens of Kenya. Very, very excited, very happy for their win. On the other side, congratulations to the Commercial Bank of Ethiopians. They've been outstanding in this tournament. They will take home most valuable player, if I'm not wrong. I mean, the players have 13 goals, 8 goals to their names. Really, Gilbert, this has been a phenomenal tournament. What a display as they give thanks.
It's been a phenomenal tournament. And though the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia have lost in the finals, they came and gave a very, very, very good performance. And at the end of the day, the hosts, the Vihiga Queens from Western Kenya, and the champions of the women football in the country, have literally pulled the captain Loza Kinore down alongside Arages Tadese. They know that they had it, and at that point when they were going for extra time, they created a horrible mistake by Terikwa Yakura. And we take you down to James Wakabi to see what the coaches had to say.
Well, so that's the way the game ends here, and you can see it's all about celebrations here at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. Vihiga Queens absolutely delighted. They are dancing, they are with joy. And you can understand why, because they've given it their all in this game. They did absolutely everything they could to make sure they won it. And in the end, hit the post twice, but at the end of it all, they fought hard until ultimately they got that goal. That goal coming in the 4th minute of added time by a penalty. And who better to score the penalty than Gentrix Shikangwa? So that's the way that game ends here. And with it, Vihiga win not only $30,000, but also the fact that they get to qualify to play in the CAF Champions League. Of course, this will be held in Egypt later on in the year. First team from CECAFA to qualify there. So yes, it's been an absolutely good year. And I'm joined here by the coach, Boniface. Coach, ulituambia earlier on today kwamba umejipanga vizuri, kwamba leo itakuwa tofauti, itakuwa kama mechi ya kwanza. Hisia zako ni zipi kutokana na ushindi wa leo?
Mimi niko na furaha sababu wachezaji wamefollow instructions zenye niliwapatia. Last game tulilose against Ethiopia na nikawaambia tumekuja tumejipanga, ndio maana umeona tumeshinda hii game.
Hebu tuambie kidogo ulibadilisha mbinu gani, kwa sababu tuliona vile mmecheza leo, mmecheza power play, mlikuwa mna press vizuri sana. Ulibadilisha nini kati ya ile game ya kwanza na game ya leo?
Game ya kwanza tulifanya mistake kwa defense. Sasa kitu yenye nimefanya ni ku build up defense yangu wa stay tight, wasifanye mistakes zenye walifanya last.
Alafu hapo second half umeona bana mmepiga chuma mara mbili. Sio pengine ulikuwa unafika mahali unashindwa kama haitakuwa siku yenyu?
Nilikuwa na imani. Unajua the moment tuna press, tuna attack, obviously God atatubless, tutapata bao.
Na sasa ungesema nini kuhusu hiyo penalty ambayo Gentrix amefunga? Hisia zako ni zipi wakati alisimama na kuweza kuifunga ile penalty?
Gentrix namwamini upande wa mapena. Gentrix namwamini, ndio maana nikampea hiyo jukumu. Hata wakati tulikuwa kwa talk yetu ya team, nilikuwa nimemuelezea pena ya kwanza ni yeye, ya pili ni yeye, ya tatu ni yeye. Pena zote za games zilikuwa zake.
Na sasa umefuzu kwenda kule kwenye kombe la klabu bingwa Afrika. Pengine ungesema mtajitayarisha kivipi ndio mkienda pale mweza kufanya vizuri?
Tutazidi kutrain sababu huko tunajua haitakuwa rahisi. So tunaenda tukae chini, tujipange, turekebisha makosa yetu kabisa, in that tukienda huko tukuwe na time nzuri na wakati mzuri wa kucheza game poa.
Haya, sawa. Thank you very much coach. Asante sana and congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh well, so there you've heard it there from the coach himself. He says he's happy, and as you can see, the heavens have opened up. You know what they say in Africa, heavens opening up is a blessing, and I'm sure Vihiga Queens will be saying this has been a blessing. Let's talk to the lady who's been the superstar of the game, the lady who's literally won this for Vihiga Queens. Mrembo, congratulations. Unasikia vipi? Hisia zako zipi?
Mimi nimesikia poa. Juu ya kuwin, juu tulikuwa kitu must to win. Juu walitufunga last game, wakajua walikuja wakijua watashinda. But tulikuwa tumejipanga.
Kidogo niambie kuhusu wakati hiyo second half mnapiga chuma mara ya kwanza, mmepiga chuma mara ya pili. Mlianza kusikia kama mnaweza kuwa desperate ama bado mliweka imani?
Tuliweka imani tunaweza. Hata tukipewa vile tulikuwa tumefikiria tunataka kupewa 15 minutes, tulikuwa tutajituma na tufunge mabao zingine.
Kidogo tuzungumzie bao lako la kwanza. Ulingangana sana kabla mpira uweze kupita kwenye line, uligonga na kichwa, ukapiga na paja, ndio maana ukaenda. Mbona ukawa na hiyo bidii yote katika nafasi hiyo?
Nilikuwa natamani hiyo ball ya kufunga.
Na kidogo tuzungumzie penalty ambayo umefunga. Pressure ilikuwa kivipi?
Sikuwa na pressure juu ni kitu yenye nimezoea.
Ulikuwa unajua lazima ufunge.
Lazima.
Na sasa pengine ungesema kwenda kule Egypt, mtakuwa mkipanga nini, ama ungetaka kuonyesha the rest of the continent nini kuhusu Gentrix?
Mimi kitu yenye nilisema tunaenda kutrain na tunataka tutafutiwe ground mzuri, Kidundu si ground mzuri, tuletwe ground mzuri train ili tukienda Egypt tusiwaangushe.
Haya, sawa, asante sana, and once again congratulations.
Thank you.
Asante sana. That's Gentrix Shikangwa there, the star of the team, and as you can see, so confident of herself. She says pressure. What pressure? No pressure whatsoever. I knew I can do it, and then she went on and she did it. Scored that penalty, scored twice. She really has been the star of this team. Scored once in the final, scored the winner in the final, and then of course in the semi-final rather, and then come the final, she scored twice. Both of them very different kind of games, but I tell you what, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that she's given her team victory, and with that, the team gets to go all the way to Egypt for inaugural CAF Champions League. Let's rejoin Gilbert Celebo and Gladys Midecha just to take us through the rest of this, because remember, there are medals to be taken. There is a trophy to be awarded to none other than Vihiga Queens.
Thank you very much, James Wakabi on the touchline. What a way for Vihiga to come back, and right in the mix of your picture here, is the governor of Vihiga, Honorable Oltichio, who came in to try and psych her players, and the rain notwithstanding, it's pouring, but I'm sure that he's not feeling that rain. He's very, very, very delighted indeed. And Gladys, I know you come from that area.
Yeah,
what is the feeling?
You know, I know back home people are very excited about this win. They've been looking forward to this. And being the inaugural tournament, it's going to be absolutely massive for all teams in East and Central Africa.
Absolutely, and the dignitaries there, Mr. Wallace Kairia, CECAFA, and the TFF president also in the mix, alongside the FIFA head of women, Ms. Sarai. Standing right next to her is the Secretary General of FIFA, Fatma Samora, who has graced this occasion today. And of course, the lady in your picture there, the number 21, oh, the best goalkeeper. Well, and the top scorer's position there, of course, will go to the number 7, Los Kinore of the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia. While so far she has scored 13 goals in this tournament.
13 beautiful goals, 5 in the match against Ye Joint Stars, another 5 in the match against New Generation, and that we see the Ugandans coming in for their third place trophy there. They've been exceptional, these Ugandan ladies. What a match they had against the Vihiga Queens. Congratulations to them. Because of COVID protocols, you pick your own medal, bronze medal there. They are, of course, maintaining COVID protocols, no handshaking. And you know, in those days, they used to say when you fist bump, that is for young people. Now everyone is doing it. It is the norm, just to keep hygiene at bay. Congratulations to the Lady Doves of Uganda.
Absolutely, the Lady Doves of Uganda came into this game and beat the Simba Queens of Tanzania for the bronze medal. Of course, the players there, that is the coach, Ugandan coach, Fred Musimi, who has done extremely well with the girls, and really deservedly so. They also have received a check of $10,000 for their spot in the third position. And what a way for goalkeeper Daisy Nakaziro.
Daisy Nakaziro going home with the Golden Glove after conceding only 2 goals in this whole tournament. And what a performance she has had. And there they are, the runners-up of the inaugural CECAFA Zone Qualifiers Tournament, the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia. The ladies who came, and there we have it. Even the injured players coming for their medals. They do deserve it. What a game they have given us. What a final it has been. And this rain, Gilbert, is just cooling the temperatures here. It was just way too hot.
Here it was hot, both in the commentary and also on the field of play. And for the whole tournament, is the first time that the showers have come in, and this is just a blessing for the women football in Africa, and more so for this region, just to have this kind of tournament being played for the first time in the CECAFA region, and being graced by none other than the FIFA Secretary General herself.
Well, what a tournament it has been, what an outing it has been, what an opportunity it has been for the ladies of the CECAFA region. So much talent, and Gilbert, I can't wait for the next edition. I'm looking forward to it. Wherever it will be, we will make sure we'll be there just to see for ourselves the amount of immense talent. And there you have it, the technical bench also receiving their medals. They've been outstanding, this team.
Absolutely. And of course, to receive her medal plus 20,000 US dollars is none other than Loza Miginore, who has been absolutely outstanding for the Ethiopians in all the matches that they've played so far. And what a captain, I would call her Captain Fantastic. She's led from the front and literally played in all the games that the Ethiopians have played in this tournament. And of course, the MVP, the best player of the tournament, none other than Gentrix Shikangwa Mirimo. Gentrix Shikangwa Mirimo, and receiving accolades there from the Football Kenya Federation President, Nick Mwendwa. And this youngster, only 20 years of age, and with a lot of history behind her, it's only that the skies will be the limit for these ladies.
Well, best player is all about what time do you turn up for your team, and that is why she's getting that as the Queens get ready to get their gold medals there, lining up.
Well, it's been a long run. They started on a sour note against the same team that they've beaten today. They lost by 4 goals to 2. They went back to the drawing board and they reorganized themselves. They came into this game, they planned it, and from what you can see on your screen right now, the gold medal winner is none other than a team that was formed in 2014 in Western Province in Vihiga constituency, a team that has won the Women Championship 3 years consecutive. And they came, they saw it, and at this particular point in time, the Vihiga Queens technical bench still picking up their medals, and of course already on the ramp, ready to be crowned. What a way for Vihiga.
18-year-old Mango there, captaining these ladies. They came, they saw, they participated, and they conquered.
And of course, the dignitary there, the governor, has been ushered onto that box, and Enes Mudeizi, the Captain Fantastic for the Vihiga Queens, receives a check for 30,000 US dollars. If you convert that into Kenya shilling, that should be about 3 million Kenya shillings.
Well, good money to start off their training, and what a way to be appreciated. Good job here done by CAF. Good job. Excellent, excellent job. And the trophy is there being handed over. And Enes Mudeizi.
Well, and that is the FIFA Secretary General, Fatma Samora. The first time that she's visiting this country, Fatma Samora gives out the championship trophy to the Vihiga Queens, and the Vihiga Queens of Kenya are the champions of the CAF Women's Champions League, CECAFA region, and they will represent this region in the finals proper that will be held sometimes at the end of this year in Egypt. And what a way, Midecha.
Well, no one ever forgets the first Gilbert, the inaugural tournament being held here in Nairobi, and the home girls winning it. Vihiga Queens are going to get that solitary ticket to the CAF Champions League. It was all about the slot, and they were waiting for it, and now they have a champion from the CECAFA region. It is Vihiga Queens of Kenya, and what a tournament this has been.
What a tournament it has been. 8 teams met in this championship. At the end of the day, only 4 teams made it to the semi-finals, and 2 teams, Vihiga Queens and CBE of Ethiopia. met in the finals for the second time. And the CAF Women's champions in the CECAFA region with $30,000 to boost. Vihiga Queens of Kenya get the gold medal for the first time that this tournament has been held in this part of Africa, the CECAFA region, right here at Kasarani National Stadium in Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya. It has been a final to behold, and what a way for Vihiga. What a way for Vihiga. And I know everyone in Vihiga town at this moment, everyone around the shopping center, everyone who was glued to YouTube as we relate these matches must be very, very, very delighted indeed.
And it is a
for
proud
the marks
moment.
that these ladies have.
It is a proud moment, not only for the people who hail from Vihiga region, but a proud moment for Kenya especially. To get a representative that far is going to be absolutely exciting, and I know they're going to be rallying behind the team here, and it's going to be an exciting CAF. I cannot wait to watch it, because a team from CECAFA region will be taking part, and not just any team. The Vihiga Queens of Kenya have been absolutely wonderful, and it's good to also see the Ethiopians there celebrating their second place.
Ball on your screen was the governor of Vihiga. They've won it for Vihiga County. They've won it for themselves, and they've won it for the country. Vihiga, the gold medalists in the inaugural CAF Women's Champions League tournament that has now been renamed as Suluhu CECAFA Cup. Well, they will do this all night. They will do it all night. They will celebrate the whole night. And that is Charles Okere, the coach, standing coach after Coach Alex Alumira left the team at the last minute. But they've shown it that Alex Alumira has done an outstanding job to build a formidable side for the last 3 years. And wishing him well in his new station at Tiger in Tanzania.
Look at that. Oh, Gilbert, moments there of happiness, even from the Ethiopian.
Well, the highlights of the day, because the referee Swavis Iratunga sets to a good pose here, and that's a good shot from none other than Teresa Engesha. And they kept on pushing. They kept on pushing hard. Another good run from Engesha, giving it out to Wanyonyi on the right-hand side with a sizzler of a shot, and a rebound from Gentrix Shikangwa, putting Vihiga ahead in the first half. Well, again, it was solid performance, physicality, power, and what a way for Gentrix Shikangwa to score her first goal in this game. Well, they kept on moving, they kept on pushing hard, and of course, with a lot of resistance from the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, who had Tariko Valcha, goalkeeper, outstanding in the first half. And another sizzling shot from a distance. A failed clearance there by Vivian Makoha, who had an outstanding performance for Vihiga Queens in the central defense, gifting the CBE of Ethiopia with an open opportunity here for a Nicolizer. Call it an own goal, but it tied the game. It tied the game for the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia. Well, they kept on moving, and moment after moment, with a good rasping shot from Gentrix, hitting the crossbar, and the return ball being flapped by Violet Wanyonyi. coach Charles Okere knew that they had it. They kept on pushing, and again another rasping shot from Gentrix, and a rebound that should have been placed. She fluffs it at point when everyone's mouth was calling out for a goal. Well, her facial expression showed you that she was not done yet. And another cross here from Daisy, picked up by Wanyonyi, landed at the feet of Gentrix with a shot, and again it hit the side netting. They kept on pushing, the Ethiopians with one of their own. Again, poor clearance there, picked by Loza. Loza with a good cross. Hiwot Dengizo fails to put power behind that ball when she had a yearning goal. And a run by Bundi on the right-hand side. Finds again Gentrix with another power shot. But again, today, it doesn't hit the mark. They keep on moving, keep on pushing. And with time ticking out, a penalty in the dying hours, in the last minute, on Violet Wanyonyi by Tirikwa Yakura, who had just come in, gifted Gentrix Shikangwa with an opportunity 11 yards from the goalkeeper. Faced with a big task at 20 years old, Tirikwa Bolcha. Gentrix Shikangwa with a power shot, far corner of the net to put Vihiga up by 2-1. And there was no more time left. And you can see from the VVIP, they were celebrating that penalty award there. And that technically taken shot there, right to the corner. And Tariko Balcha with no chance from a power shot by the best player of the tournament, Gentrix Shikangwa, to the delight of the technical bench. Well, Tariko Yakura, Kevin for Tizita, but again, that substitution did not count, and Vihiga were crowned the 2021 CAF Women's Champions CECAFA region, and will represent the CECAFA region in the CAF Champions League final that will be held late in the year in Egypt. Well, what a wave. The golden boot was given to the youngster Gentrix Shikangwa from Wayeta Girls, and the Wayeta family is happy. Wayeta family is happy. The Vihiga family is happy. The Football Kenya Federation is happy. The country is happy. And the Vihiga Queens of Kenya beat CBE of Ethiopia by 2-1 on full time.